Into Friday and into the weekend, we launch another edition of this program, the Craig Way Show. I happen to be the guy whose name on the show, but glad to have you with us this afternoon. My name is Craig Way. Thanks so much for joining us. Us, of course, normally includes the producer, and it does, again, today, Cameron D. Parker. The D on the birth certificate stands for Dallas, as in his favorite pro football team that he might be warming up just a little bit on, and we'll continue to follow that. But Cam is here, but Cam is not the only person who is here. Antone Lycum, who's our resident jack of all trades around town. What do you got Antone doing this afternoon?
I'm doing a little shadowing today.
Is he?
Because he'll be filling in for me a little bit here when I go on my free football sabbatical.
Yeah.
For about a week. So.
Okay. All right. So that's good. So yeah, Antone's hanging there. And Antone's normally the man and the master, the purveyor of the copies of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, which we will give away a couple more copies today via the iHeartRadio app through our Talkback feature. More on that coming up. Also, in the studio with us, there's two females in the studio with us. One is my dog. We named the dog Indiana. No, it's not. It's not Indiana. It's Sophie, the 12-year-old miniature schnauzer. The reason why Sophie's here is because the other female who's here is my wife, who's going to be a part of the show in the 3:00 hour. Linda will be here because we're both going to take the music survey. That's coming up in the 3:00 hour. So we'll get to that. In the 4:00 hour, Gene Watson, our resident baseball insider from the Chicago White Sox front office, will join us. We'll get his review on the trade deadline and all the deals that were and were not made yesterday prior to and inclusive of the Major League Baseball trade deadline. So we'll get to Gino in the 4:00 hour to talk about that. If you'd like to join in the conversation or at least give us your opinion, your questions, your comments, your thoughts, we're more than happy to take those from you. We'll take a lot of stuff from you, put it that way. Well, you can dish it out and hopefully we can take it. But the way to do it is to reach us via the text line, and the text line is to text the word Texas, followed by your question or comment, to 81530. So you text the word Texas, followed by your question or comment to 81530. Standard messaging and data rates may apply. So we'll give you the opportunity to reach us. And I would imagine, Cam, maybe some of these folks might want to get your opinion on Micah Parsons' sudden trade demand that he's asking for now.
I don't know. I don't know if I really feel like talking about more Cowboys.
Is he just
drama?
All right, let me ask you this. We don't have to dwell on it a lot, but I mean, there's a lot of people like yourself in this town who are fans, long-suffering fans of the Dallas Cowboys, and so they might be interested in actually what you have to say about that, about the Cowboys.
Well, first off, I tip my cap to Micah Parsons. You know, Jerry Jones and the Jones family have kind of handled these negotiations the same over the past couple of years, you know, whether it's Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. And, you know, Micah Parsons, he has sat back, you know, and he's seen it. He's seen it firsthand, how it probably affects the locker room, how it affects the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I give him credit for saying, you know what? I'm gonna flip the table here. I'm gonna demand a trade because I fully believe Micah Parsons probably wants to spend his career in Dallas, and this might be a little bit of a bluff coming from his agent, but I think it's a fantastic move. I mean, just go ahead and just stick it to the Jerry Jones family. You're not gonna, you know, re-sign me by now. You're gonna create this whole story. Well, cool. I'm gonna raise it. I'm going to raise it, and I'm going to demand a trade. So I fully believe he'll end up playing for the Cowboys this season, but I do respect Micah Parsons' decision.
So apparently he did this big detailed post, the title of which was called "Thank You, Dallas." Like he's leaving, saying, "I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. I mean, like I said, it sounds like
And that's the dig at Jerry. He didn't even
Yeah.
go to Jerry. He went to Steven because he
Yeah.
knows who actually runs the team. It's not
Well,
Jerry Jones, it's Steven Jones.
let me also say this. What was it? 2 weeks ago when the Cowboys had opened camp, or a week and a half ago, whatever. And Jerry did his state of the team address, fundamentally, hypothetically, or relative to his football team. That when he did his state of the team address, it was made very, very clear, very plainly stated by Stephen Jones, Jerry's son, and of course, the number 2 in the operation, that Jerry doesn't even really talk to the agents. Jerry doesn't talk to the agent. I mean, they were pretty blunt about that. And Jerry's like, yeah, I don't really spend much time with them. If I need to say something, I'll do. But he leaves it to Stephen. So maybe that's as much calculated by Micah Parsons' team to Stephen, like, you're the one who deals with the agent. So since you can't get the deal done, trade me. Maybe. It's all calculated, right? And I think I'm in agreement with you. When the dust settles, when the smoke clears, ultimately he'll wind up playing for the Cowboys. He has one final year of his rookie deal, so he really doesn't have a choice. I mean, you can sit out if you want, but the Cowboys still hold your rights for a year, one more year out of that rookie deal if you choose not to play. And he can be fined by the terms of the deal, the contract. You can get fined. So that's why I'm in agreement with you. I think when push comes to shove, if nothing else, I mean, Micah Parsons showed up at camp. I think what he'll do is say, you know what, I'm here. I'm going to go ahead and play, but you guys have no shot to re-sign me if this thing isn't done before we get the season going. So we'll see. We'll see how it all pans out. You have some sound for us from Longhorn football players, correct?
Yeah, yesterday.
And who will we be hearing from?
That's a fantastic question.
How about DeAndre Moore?
He's one of them for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All
I
right.
think Ethan Burke's in there.
Yep.
And a couple others as well.
Good. So we're gonna hear from some of that. We do have Inconceivable on a Friday. We know what Inconceivable means on a Friday, Cameron.
We do. Florida Man Friday and Florida Woman Friday.
Absolutely. So we've got that coming up with Inconceivable as well. So we've got a lot to get to on the program. And as I mentioned, we'll give away a copy of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. And the way that you win the copy of the magazine is to participate via the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. First of all, what you would want to do is download the iHeartRadio app. Real easy to do. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. It's real easy to do. You just download the iHeartRadio app. After you download the iHeartRadio app, you then do a search for AM 1300 The Zone. You know, the little magnifying glass search window, whatever. You search AM 1300 The Zone. It'll pop right up. And when it pops up, what we suggest you do at that point is go ahead and make it a preset, because if you make it a preset, it'll be easier to wind through and around some of the traffic to give you a better chance to win a copy of the magazine, or for that matter, something else we may give away at some point. Anton, are we giving away a Ghost tickets again one more day today? We have one more day of Ghost.
I believe this is the last week that we're going to be giving away Ghost for a while. We do have some new stuff in the pipeline coming up in the next couple weeks that I'm going to be very excited to share with y'all. But I believe we are doing Ghost.
Well, we have some good keywords that lampoon Cameron Parker like you did before.
Absolutely. That is a non-negotiable of my position here.
I like that. All right. So how did you describe Ghost, their music? I thought it was a great description. How was it that you described it?
Big, dark, theatric metal. They do the costumes, they do the masks, they do huge lighting productions and all that. It's a real
theatrical metal.
Theatrical metal, yes.
I remember that. Okay. Theatrical metal. Now, Ghost did not make Cameron's music survey, and we said we're going to do Antone with the survey. We need to do that because he's a musician. After all, he's a drummer for the band Whisk You guys got a gig this weekend? Or
Yes, sir. We are in Houston tomorrow.
Okay.
We are at Axelrad in Houston tomorrow.
Axelrad?
Axelrad.
Oh, Rad. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So if you're headed over to H-Town, you want to check them out. They're at Axelrad tomorrow. So we're going to get to the point where we actually also have Antone do the music, because his music survey is bound to be pretty interesting because he is a musician. We had Bill Schoening last Friday, who is a so-called musician, or self-styled musician, I guess would be the way Bill would tell you. Bill would tell you that his CDs, he has a million seller because he has a million copies in his cellar, as he likes to say. But Linda and I probably, I would say it's a safe bet that neither of us have Ghost in our music survey. Probably didn't.
I would be shocked if you did.
Yeah. What I asked her to fill out hers, and I would fill out mine, and we would submit them to Cameron without either of us having seen the other's survey. So that could make it pretty interesting as well this afternoon. We'll find out in the 3:00 hour. All right. Coming up, we're going to hear from some Texas Longhorn football players. So we'll do that. If you have questions on that. And like I said, on the iHeartRadio app, just to finish up how you do this, to have a shot to win a copy of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, what you will do is you download the iHeartRadio app, you search AM 1300 The Zone. When it comes up, we suggest that you go ahead and just make it a preset, makes it easier. But then there's two buttons on it when you pull it up. One is a little white triangular button. That's to listen to what's going on in the air, the games, the shows, all that stuff. The other button, and this is where the contest comes in, is a little red button with a white microphone. You tap that button, and that activates our talkback feature. And you leave us a message. You can leave us up to 30 seconds on a message. We aired a couple of those messages. Was it yesterday, where we had the guy Kyle, I guess, from Pennsylvania, who was who said he had just missed out, and then he wanted to know how many. He asked me how many jersey numbers did Ricky Williams wear when he played at Texas. And since I was in the broadcast booth, I was the analyst back in those days working with Bill Schoening. I do know that Ricky actually wore 3 different numbers at Texas. His first 2 years, he wore number 11. His junior year, he switched to number 34, which he also wore his senior year. However, during his senior season, when they played Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl, Ricky had been very close to the late Doak Walker, the great former SMU running back. And they always say that the Cotton Bowl, at least the double-decking of it, was the house that Doak built, because that's when he was at time when he won the Heisman Trophy. So Ricky got close to Doak and his family before Doak Walker passed away. And when he passed away, right before the OU game, Ricky chose to wear Doak Walker's number 37 on the field that day as Texas took Oklahoma apart, and Ricky had a huge day. He wore number 37. So that was the answer to that question on that. So that was through a voice message that somebody left us on that wanting to do. But we'll ask a question to give you an opportunity to win a copy of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. All right, up next, we hear from Longhorn football players when we continue on 1300 The Zone.
Wake up with Harge and Henry in the morning kickoff.
I cannot believe that you and I are seeing things exactly the same.
It's a miracle.
Oh, my God. Hey,
Marcus,
write it down.
It's a miracle that we are having this discussion, and we are agreeing. Air high fives.
Yeah.
The morning kickoff. Weekdays at 7, 1300 The Zone.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances. And listen, starting Monday, to win your way there.
Lenovo and the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Tech that hits different. Can your gear keep up with the beat? Lenovo PCs are built for creators, dreamers, and fans who don't hit pause. Visit Lenovo.com for the latest in AI PCs and game-changing tech.
When you drive the Nissan Frontier, this sound is the sound of exploring new trails. The sound of a 310 horsepower V6 engine charging up a cliffside. Sounds like going places and towing the boat with you. Sounds like a great weekend. Where will you go in the V6-powered Nissan Frontier? Up to 7,150 pounds towing for 2025 Nissan Frontier S4x2. Towing capacity varies by configuration. See Nissan Towing Guide and Owner's Manual for additional information. Cargo and load capacity limited by weight and distribution. Always secure cargo.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
Guilty. Erroneous. Sustained.
Are you just saying random words?
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In this edition of the Marketer's Report, Corey Marchesotto, Chief Marketing Officer of Elf Beauty, founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports, talks about finding the right partners for your brand.
I see brands as antennas, and every antenna sends out a frequency. We call it the ELF signal. So we send out the ELF signal, and what comes back is people who want to be a part of this story. Once you know firmly who you are, you've codified it, and you can put that out into the universe. What happens from there is it begins to attract kindred spirits. Why are we partnered with Billie Jean King? Because she champions equality. Why are we partnering with iHeart? Because we want to advance women in sports.
Women's sports just got louder thanks to Elf and iHeartMedia. As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia can get more people to hear your message than anyone else. We can also get a better response rate for all your marketing. For better results for every budget, visit iHeartAdvertising.com.
The Girlfriends is back with a new season, and this time I'm telling you the story of Kelly Harnett. Kelly spent over a decade in prison for a murder she says she didn't commit. As she fought for her freedom, she taught herself the law.
He goes, oh God, Harnett, jailhouse lawyer.
And became a beacon of hope for the women locked up alongside her.
I think I was put here to save souls by getting people out of prison.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Girlfriends Jailhouse Lawyer, and listen now.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but one thing's for sure. You need a PC you can rely on. Whether it's for school, gaming, or whatever your next chapter holds, Lenovo.com has the tech to help you succeed. Shop PCs right now at Lenovo.com during their back-to-school sale, where students can save more when they sign up for a Lenovo education account. Free shipping, easy returns, flexible financing. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. At Target, back-to-school-a-days are here. What is back-to-school-a-days, you ask? We're talking 7 days of deals on looks and styles the kids will love, at prices you'll love even more. Because back-to-school at Target means getting all of the above. Through August 2nd, save 25% on select kids' clothes, with additional savings to round out their looks, including uniforms, leggings, polos, and activewear. Plus, their new favorite backpacks are 30% off. Happy back-to-school-a-days now through August 2nd, only at Target. Terms and conditions apply.
If it's Texas sports, Craig Way knows all. Back to the Craig Way Show on 1300 The Zone.
Okay, we, on Fridays during the summer, we do the music survey thing. But Fridays normally are what's known as Fire Me Up Friday. So I got to ask Cameron Parker. First of all, Linda and I both love this selection, reminiscing by Little River Band, which isn't on my survey. I think it wound up on hers. But is that part of your Fire Me Up Friday?
No, we're just going with Friday-based songs today. So, the opening of the song, whoever the lead singer is of LRB says, hey, it's Friday night, so we're going with that theme today.
Graham go, okay. So it was, okay. I see. Friday night was like, yeah, because how I always like you to play Thank God It's Friday.
So they'll be played today. Yeah, Thank God It's Friday.
Okay. All right. That's good. Because we are getting to the weekend. And as I always say, when we get to Friday, if Friday is your traditional Monday through Friday work a day, work a week Friday, where Friday comes at the end of the week, good on you, good for you, and hopefully you'll enjoy the weekend. If Friday winds up being like the middle part of your week, that it starts like on Wednesday, hope you get over the hump for that. And for those of you who start on the weekend, hope you're able to push through and drive through on that here on this Friday on the program. And let's start with some Texas Longhorn football player sounds. Starting it off with the guy who had to step in for the injured Kelvin Banks as a freshman and do well last year, and he did, Trevor Gooseby. Now Gooseby projected, obviously, to be a starting offensive lineman.
Not a lot was expected of it last year with Kelvin Banks being at left tackle. Now you've moved in that starting role, and there's a lot of expectations. How are you handling that?
I'm handling it really well. I was prepared last year. That preparation really carried over into this year, and I can credit Coach Flood and Kelvin Banks and, all the guys that have graduated, Jake Majors, they all helped me with my leadership. And, going into the new starting role, it kind of invites a new leadership role, and I've kind of really taken that on really well.
What's the biggest adjustment for you not having all those veterans around you?
I think really just kind of taking, like I said, leadership and knowing like, man, I don't have Kelvin, to look to anymore. I got young guys looking at me, so I got to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's. So
you find yourself more vocal, like kind of helping the other guys out?
I think so, for sure. I think I've taken a lot more pride in definitely being the starter. I watch guys like Jake. Like I said, he was the prime example of taking pride in what he did. So
what's the best advice that Jake or Kelvin gave you?
I would say probably just preparing like you're the starter, because you never know. One ankle, and I was in the game, so just preparing like you're a starter. Also just working hard every day. You might not see the end of the tunnel like right now, but just keep working like it's close. So,
Baker's a young guy. What advice do you give him, and what do you see in him skill set wise that you really like?
He's a real technician. He's really patient, and he's a really smooth player. And I just continue to tell him, just keep working hard every day. Just keep pouring into the little things, because little things really, they change you as a player. So,
what are the biggest lessons that you learned from those starts that you had last year that you're kind of carrying over into this year to help you?
Really just everything matters. Every little thing, what time you go to bed, how much you drink water, how much you hydrate and stuff like that, and preparation, just being prepared, especially playing the SEC and playing, at the level that we play at, it's very important.
Notice today at practice, Sark was very energetic the whole time. What sort of energy has he been bringing? What does that do for you guys when he's kind of leading that charge?
Oh, his energy is super infectious. Today we had elite energy, and I feel like it started with Sark. And, a team is only as good as their head man is. And so he really just brings in that kind of energy and that kind of passion that we need. And it really is just infectious with the offense, defense. So it's really been awesome.
You think of yourself as like Arch Manning's personal bodyguard since you're the left tackle?
I mean, I got to protect my guy. That's I would say he's one of the prized possessions of our team, especially. So, as an O-line, as a whole, we all got to protect him. We got to protect our running backs, and and we essentially got to protect our receivers. If we protect our quarterback can get it to the receivers, and boom, explosive plays. So,
You think the offensive line will have different strengths this year than last year?
I think so. We're just a whole new O-line. I feel like we just, we have a new identity. 4 starters are gone, so we have to really, really come together and find out our identity and who we are as an O-line. So,
Colin Simmons, Ethan Burke, some of the other edge guys. Who gives you personally the most problems?
Colin's he's a real problem. Yeah, I feel like every time I go out, I'm guarding him in basketball, and it's tough. He's just a super athletic person. Just he can rush the quarterback for sure.
How's he developed?
He's really developed a lot. He's really put a lot of moves in his bag, and he's going to be a really, really good player for us. So,
with those running backs, Sark was talking about how CJ kind of spoke to the offense about energy that you guys need before the first day of practice. What have you seen from him as he recovers, and maybe what do you expect from him this year?
In CJ? Okay. Yeah, he really brings a lot of energy just because, like, he's just excited to be back for sure. And, like, especially during last year, he was a really great teammate. So just seeing him come back, it gives me energy to know, like, hey, one of my brothers is back, you know. Like, he's back playing the game that he loves, and it just brings me a lot more energy and joy seeing him on the field with me. So
you talked about developing a new identity as a line. Like, what do you want that identity to be?
I think we're a really gritty O-line. I think we're just really gritty and ground and pound. We just have that kind of, you know, move somebody off the ball, kind of, you know, establishment about ourselves and identity about ourselves. So that's kind of what we pride ourselves on for sure. So
what did you do for fun this summer?
Probably most fun thing is probably watching my brother play basketball in Kansas City. That was a real joy of mine. Me and my older brother, we went to go watch him, and that guy's good at basketball. That's all I got to say.
I mean, we saw Sean Miller out there. Is he going to be coaching your brother anytime soon?
He might. You know, we'll see. I went over there to dap him up, and Coach Flo was like, "Yeah, don't get any ideas. You know, you're staying on the field." And I was like, "Man, I can only dream." So, I can only dream.
Like, there's been some last ones. There's been some talk about the red zone issues for you guys last year. As offensive linemen, when you hear about the red zone struggles y'all had, I mean, do y'all take that personally? How do you feel about that?
Oh, definitely. We definitely take it personally, and just kind of like a lot of the red zone, you know, it was on us most of the time. And, you know, I feel like that's something that we could really fix. And if we really get it locked down, then we're going to be a really elite offense. So
this is the hard part of the year. It's 1,000,000 degrees out there. What keeps you motivated this time of year when it's just practices?
And I just love it. I love it. I love playing O-line. I love being at the University of Texas. And it's just, I wake up with breath in my lungs every day, and it's a blessing from God every day. So, you know, I get 24 hours. God gives me 24 hours. What am I going to do with it? And I'm going to be the best version of myself. And I do it for my family too, my mom, both my brothers, my pops, and everybody else. So, you know, I got people that's counting on me. So that really keeps me going.
Yeah. Well, he keeps going and going. And he's one of the guys I think that a lot of folks are really, really looking forward to seeing as he kind of steps in to that role full time, where Kelvin Banks won his Outland Trophy and was an All-American. Okay. Also, one of the guys who has improved a great deal and who has been very versatile. He has played safety. He has played the star. He's played the nickel, but he's zeroing in at cornerback, and that's Jalen Gilbo.
The transition from nickel to corner this offseason, how's it been for you?
It's been going smooth, just getting in the rhythm of playing corner. You know, I've been at nickel for the last three and a half years. Just getting in the rhythm of playing corner and getting my traits back, because I played in high school, but once I got here, I went to nickel. So just getting the fundamentals back and building on the small details.
Do you think the transition itself was easy because you played nickel and a lot of receivers had two-way goes against you now?
Yeah, I honestly say I feel like corner is more easier than nickel, because in nickel, you know, they got a two-way go. So I feel like corner, you got a better advantage and you can use the sideline. So I say that's the advantage.
Jade did the same transition. Did you talk to him at all about moving from nickel to outside? And when you see him, you know, get drafted up there, how does she like that? You know?
I would say I talk to him all the time. That's my brother. So I talk to him. I call him and ask him, like, what did you do at corner, like, that I can do? And, you know what I mean, that they can get me at that standard that you was at. So he was basically telling me, like, go to outside and show them that you can cover. You know what I mean? And that's they want to see with him. So I say I'm just doing the same thing, just going to the corner and show the scouts that I can cover.
You know, we kind of talked with PK about moving Trey Moore to linebacker because that would help him at the next level to a degree. Does moving outside help you at the next level, and how much conversations do you have with coaches about kind of helping you guys develop into that?
I talked to Coach McKenna and I talked to Coach O about moving outside. I wanted to just show, like, everybody that I can cover. You know what I mean? That was the most important thing. I was in the box half of the time at nickel, so I just wanted to prove myself and show everybody that I can cover at corner too.
You're a guy that's seen this program grow to being a perennial national championship contender. How do you describe your mentality and hunger in your last year to finish the job now?
I would say it's you got to have a killer instinct mindset. Like, you can't come out here playing around. You know what I mean? You got to treat it as a job. Like, it's not for, like, fun. So I would say I treat it as a job. Like, I love what I do. So I'm gonna come out here every day and work hard.
As a leader, how do you try to instill that in fall camp, that killer instinct?
I would say just going out 30 minutes before practice, doing stuff before everybody get out there, you know what I mean, and installing in the young guys, because we're gonna need the young guys too. So I would say just having that mindset and bringing the young guys along. You just got to be the guy.
Who's pushing you for that starting cornerback job?
I would say everybody. It's Taft, Manny, Kobe, Warren, and some of the young guys. They all elite.
Which of those young guys do you think have kind of taken to the college game and can really help you this year?
I got two young guys in mind that's gotten better from spring until now. What's his name? I can't think of his name. It's crazy. Kobe got better as a young guy. Grayson, yeah, he one of them ones. I feel like he gonna do his job and he gonna get it done. And one more guy, I gotta shout him out. K. Phillips.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the ones too.
What stands out about him?
He athletic, fast. He can do it all. He can press. He can play off man. He can do it everything you need.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, you were starting off on a hot start, and you get injured. Talk about coming back from that. Like, what was it like during those moments? And talk about battling back from that injury.
I would say it's tough tearing your ACL and MCL. Just knowing going out there, I tore my ACL the 8th game of Oklahoma State, and I was down. You know what I mean? And going and see my brothers going out there and play, it's real tough. It brings a mental it's real mental when you get hurt like something like that. Because I was out for the rest of the season, and I was out for a little bit of my sophomore season. So I mean, just having that mindset of coming back and knowing like you got to be back and missing my brothers. Like that's one thing I tell everybody. Like when I got hurt, it's just that it's not a good feeling. You know what I mean? So I'll say like just staying healthy and don't get injured.
What was helping you to be able to kind of pull through some of those tough moments?
I had a mentor, Kevin Carroll. I leaned into him and talked to him about things about my mental and just keeping me straight, keep me straight on a straight line because, you can go down. Like Sark said, you got 3 phases of life, football, academic, and social life. And once football stopped for me, it was like, man, like I'm going downhill because I'm hurt and I'm injured. Like, you know what I mean? So it was real tough.
I asked Trevor about his motivation. Looks like you have a new source of motivation in your life a couple of weeks ago. What's dad life been like?
I love it, man. This the reason why I'm doing it. I got a little daughter that's leaning on me. So I wake up to her every morning and I kiss my daughter on the forehead and tell her, baby, I got you. Like this what daddy doing. I got you. You don't have to worry about nothing. So I feel like being a father, it just light a fire under you. And I love the fatherhood. Like I wake up to her every morning, wake up to my girlfriend every morning and just tell them I love them and I'm going to work.
You wake up in the morning or the middle of the night?
In the morning. I wake up in the morning and I be up in the night. Last night, I barely got sleep last night. So it's tough having a newborn, but I love being a dad, though.
What's your name?
Riley.
How you spell it?
Rylegi.
What's been the biggest surprise that you didn't maybe know with that baby?
I would say the first, like when it first happened, like me at the hospital when she came out, like I couldn't even hold it. I was like in shock. I'm like, oh my God, I got a kid. Like it's crazy. I shed tears just, you know what I'm saying, just being like a father, you know what I mean? Knowing I got a little girl, you know what I'm saying, it can change your life.
You got good hands.
I gotta have soft hands, and then I gotta come out here and have rough hands to rough somebody up.
How would you describe your skill set overall?
I would say I'm athletic. I can do it all. It's simple. I can do it all.
What's it been like learning under Coach Orfe? Differences between him and Coach Joseph leaving this past season. How has that been?
They both great coaches. I would say learning from Coach Tijo, I learned just more like fundamentals and using more IQ in my game. And Coach Orfe, he more of a hands-on coach. I would say both of them great coaches. I love both of them and what they did for me.
If you're going ones-on-ones, who's the toughest guy for you personally to handle? What receiver?
I got 2 receivers, and it's Demo and Wingo.
Why each one?
Because sometimes I go in the slot and guard Demo, and then sometimes I'm outside guarding Wingo. But you know what I'm saying? You got to battle every day. Get each other better every day.
What are those battles like with him when he tries to block you?
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. You know what I mean? That's my brother. At the end of the day, we're gonna protect each other. But it's a job, like I said. We're gonna fight and get the job done.
Well, that's from student, athlete, football player, and new dad, Jalen Gilbo. very nice hearing him talk about how well he's embraced his fatherhood role as well. All right, coming up next, we have Inconceivable on a Friday here on 13 Under the Zone.
The largest gun show in Texas is almost here. Exercise your Second Amendment rights next weekend at the 1500 Table Gun Show in Bryan College Station. Presented by Texas Gun Shows. August 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Legends Event Center in Bryan College Station. Texas Gun Shows will be holding the largest gun show in the state. 1500 tables, free parking. You don't want to miss this. 3 days only, August 8th, 9th, and 10th. For more info, visit gunshowstx.com. That's gunshowstx.com.
On a recent podcast, a well-respected business leader said the best companies are the ones that solve problems in the market. Well, consider this. New vehicle transaction prices hover around $48,000 today. That's double where they were in 2010, and they far outpace wage increases. Affordability is a problem. And with talks of tariffs and other noise, customers are looking for a solution. And that solution is affordable monthly payments. Some banks have dealt with this by extending financing terms out to 84, even 96 months. In fact, over 20% of auto loans today are 7 years long. This is why more clients are considering leasing than any other time in recent history. Apple Leasing has thousands of active clients on the road right now, and many of them are repeat or were referred. We have experts that specialize in solving the high payment problem with the Easy Lease. No money down, payment significantly lower than buying, and terms that make sense. Why wouldn't you call Apple Leasing at 346-9977 or go to appleleasing.com?
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
Hold it.
Like you know to check the assembly instructions first.
Hold it.
Before building the bookcase.
And done. Whew. You can let go.
Yeah, checking first is smart.
Ugh.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Thinking about buying a new car? You might want to pump the brakes. With prices climbing across the board, that new car smell is coming with a bigger price tag than ever. It's no wonder more people are choosing to keep the cars they already own, and Maaco is here to help make those cars feel brand new again. Whether your vehicle's rocking a faded finish, carrying around a few dents from daily life, or your bumper's seen better days, we've got you covered. Maaco specializes in high-quality, affordable paint jobs and light collision repairs that bring your car back to life without the sticker shock. You'll be surprised how far a fresh coat of paint and a little bodywork can go. It's fast, affordable, and makes your car look great without blowing your budget. Don't wait. Book your free estimate online or visit your nearest Maaco today. Appointments fill up fast, and your car deserves a fresh start because now, more than ever, it just makes sense to invest in what you already have. Uh-oh, better get Maaco.
The countdown to the NFL season is on while the pads are popping in camp. Get ready for the new season with iHeart, the official partner of the NFL Podcast Network.
Jim Harbaugh, how you feeling?
Oh, so excited. It's the start of the year.
Shows like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
We are going to go through the best position battles of the 2025 training camp.
Breakouts, holdouts, and fantasy sleepers. Be the first to know. Search NFL and find your next preset now.
iHeartRadio presents Stuff You Should Know.
Caffeine can be really good for you and help a lot of things, and caffeine can be kind of bad for you.
It's a drug, and in its pure form, Chuck, it is a bitter-tasting crystalline powder.
Naturally, it's in the coffee bean and in chocolate and tea, but it's also added artificially in things like soda. Your body is enjoying the caffeine. It's blocking that adenosine. You're going to feel alert and awake. It's got that adrenaline going, and it's rewarding you with the dopamine. I mentioned the vicious cycle, the inevitable crash,
right?
Like any stimulant drug, and you want more of it. Eventually, it's going to affect your sleep patterns. All right, how about some health benefits?
Right.
They found everything from not develop Parkinson's disease to dropping your risk of various cancers.
Well, coffee actually is shown to reduce your risk of diabetes.
4 cups a day, 50% less chance of mouth and throat cancer.
You should eat more grapefruit because grapefruit contains something called Narragin or Narragin, and it actually slows the removal of caffeine from your brain. caffeine.
Okay.
So you enjoy its effects longer.
Nice.
Yeah.
For the entire caffeine episode and everything else in the Stuff You Should Know universe, open the free iHeart app, search Stuff, and listen now.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Inconceivable! 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 You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
We know what inconceivable means on a Friday, but we'll get to that part of it soon enough, obviously. To start off with, however, we'll go with Costco. Now, Cameron, you know, I live in Georgetown, so I live not far from the Costco, and Linda and I are Costco customers. Are you a Costco?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have the membership.
Mm-hmm. Bought my car tires from Costco.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? So do you have like the highfalutin like executive membership where you get the discount on the car tires?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think I have any highfalutin executive anything.
Okay. All right. Well, the reason why I asked that is because folks with Costco got a little bit upset on, and it went away from them. Let me see if I can pull it back up here. Unhappy with some new rules that have been put in for ordering pizza at Costco. Now, do you do much of the food-oriented things from Costco?
I mean, I love their pizza there.
You do?
Yeah.
You
Pizza's
ever
fantastic.
You ever like get one to go? You just get a full one to go.
You know, I think I have before in the
Have you?
past. Yeah. I don't go into Costco too much anymore. Mostly it's just for the gas and then for my car. But I used to definitely frequent the pizza, and then they had the not really a smoothie, you know, but it's kind of like ice cream milkshake.
Yeah.
That's
because
fantastic.
That is it almost kind of reminds me of a Frosty.
Yeah.
From Wendy's.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
They have one of those deals on that. I'll come back to that if I can pull it, but the story dropped off yet about some new rules with regard to ordering the pizza. So that would hold some interest to you. So you're not interested in the $1.50 foot-long hot dog and 20-ounce soda
I've
deal?
never ordered it from there, so I don't.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal if you like hot dogs. You know, it's one of those things. Okay, we move forward to something else. How much of, or did you at all watch any of the preseason game last night?
I watched a little bit of Trey Lance, and then I
Mhm.
was like, I'm okay here.
Okay.
I'm all right.
Were you watching when Melissa Stark was doing the interview with Sterling?
I watched
Sharp?
it this morning.
Did you?
Mhm.
What did you make?
I think it's
of-
getting overblown.
Okay. So when he said, and here was the quote, "You've always been wonderful to me. I can say the exact same thing about Chris Collinsworth working with him at NBC. And I love this lady right here. Melissa and I had wonderful years at NFL Network, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going in doing TV. She spent a lot more time in the hair and makeup chair than I did." And then after that, and was talking about taking long, you hear Mike Tirico say, "Kill his mic. Let's get back to the game." Now, some folks say that he was just being funny about that. Is that how you took it?
Yeah, because like right before that, Tirico's talking about how proud he is of him and how much they've worked together, and then Sharp saying the same thing. And also, the interview was like 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, it went on.
So I think that's Tirico like, all right, kind of just like let's get back to football. I think it was more of a joke than it was.
Okay.
Like,
Were you watching long enough to see the new virtual measurement system for first down?
I did not see that. How did that look?
It's
good, bad.
Yeah, I mean, so it kind of zooms in on the deal to let you know. It's almost like the Cyclops thing for in tennis, that kind of deal. So anyway, we'll see how that is going forward on that. Do you know that there are 8 things that bartenders really wish you would stop ordering?
Water's probably one of them.
Well, it's funny. First of all, they don't like robot bartenders, and the Rangers, of course, had their new robot bartenders have been.
Can you get on base?
Indoctrinated on that. Can he drive in a run when you need one? Okay. Here are things they prefer you not order. A Ramos Gin Fizz.
Never even heard of that one.
Well, people comment that it's mixed with key lime pie, but it's got a lot of other parts in it, and that's part of the reason why they don't like that. Okay. Here's a beverage you like. I know I've heard you say it. Mojitos. You like a mojito, right?
Yeah, on the beach. They don't like making mojitos? Why is that?
It's the drinks that bartenders don't like to make the mojito. Also, blended daiquiris are on the list. They hate that because it depends on the bar environment and the ingredients available. Fresh limes and mint. And a lot of times, other labored drinks require a lot of mixing. Some bars don't have enough space. So it's kind of tough for you out there ordering the mojito. The blended drinks as well. They're not into those things. The ones that have simple syrup and frozen cherries and rum and mint and lime juice and stuff like that is a problem with that.
I don't think you go to like, a dive bar and order a mojito. I think they would look at you like, huh? But if you're at you're at some beachside resort in Cancun, I think
that's part of the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing with the margarita, right?
Exactly.
They don't like making margaritas either, apparently, or fruity cocktails.
No, that's what margaritas. What, tequila, a little bit of some sweet and sour mix,
triple sec, and all that stuff. Okay, all right. So anyway, there's some drinks that they don't like. All right, Florida man time. There's a couple of ones. First of all, the scary one: the Florida man accused of attempted murder in a chilling arrest report. That happens a lot. A woman lucky to be alive after police say was a planned and brutal attack. Douglas Naher had been married to his wife for 3 years. They set out on a boat, and when they got out on the boat, he pushed her overboard.
Oh, wow.
Thinking he was going to drown her, but she kind of held on to the boat for a while. She was bruised a little bit, got away. Once he got close enough to shore, he got arrested for attempted murder. Okay, now let's get to some other oriented stories involving Florida man. Here's a headline for you. Florida man who was married to 3 women at the same time has been sentenced to felony bigamy. Henry Betsy Jr. married 3 Florida women he met on dating websites in 3 different counties over a 2-year period, but he never got divorces. He never got annulments. He just stayed married to 3 different women. He was back in court yesterday for his sentencing in Brooksville, Florida, after pleading guilty to bigamy. He was bond was revoked, and he's now in jail.
How does that work? You go to a lawyer, like, what'd you do? Bigamy.
That's
do you accept
bigamy?
that? Do you just you're not going to win this one. You're not going to win this one.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, he got in trouble for being married to 3 women, and he met them all online. It's the dangers of meeting someone online, and you're well aware of that, right? There's inherent dangers trying to meet people.
Oh, I mean, you can be catfished easily.
Yeah.
I've had friends who have been catfished before.
Here's a guy who was not catfish. He was Smokey the Bear. Headline: Smokey Bear arrests man accused of stealing his signs across Florida. You go, what?
Okay.
All right. So a man is under arrest for stealing Smokey Bear signs across Florida. The suspect stole the signs from state parks in Pensacola, Panama City, and Orlando. So when they found him, or they knew where they could arrest him, they sent a dude dressed as Smokey the Bear police to arrest him.
Oh, that's so funny.
Only you can get arrested for stealing my signs. Yeah. So there's some Florida man for you. And finally, a Florida driver yelled "psych" at a cop, and then he ran off or drove off, but he crashed into an 18-wheeler when he did it. He tried to flee at a traffic stop, and he crashed a sports car into a tractor-trailer truck. Eduardo Barbaro Gonzalez, spotted by a Miami officer engaging in what appeared to be a drug deal in a shopping center parking lot. He saw the cop's marked car try to pull away in the Dodge Charger. The officer pulled his cruiser in front of Gonzalez's car, lowered his window to try to talk to him, telling him he was not free to leave. Gonzalez apparently laughed out loud, said, psych, and then he went and took off and ran right into a truck. Yeah, that didn't work out well for him. Booked into jail today, faces multiple fleeing and eluding and resisting arrest charges on that. All right, we'll be back to wrap up hour number 1 on 1300 The Zone.
For the fourth time in 5 years, the Texas Longhorns have won the Directors' Cup.
Texas wins the national championship. The Longhorns are on top of the college softball world.
From the courts to the field, Texas has dominated the nation.
Texas is going to the Final Four. The Texas women are headed for the Final Four.
1300 The Zone, the home of the Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is coming back to Las Vegas, September 19th and 20th. Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. Get your tickets today. AXS.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-813-4011. That's 800-813-4011. 800-813-4011.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
iHeartRadio Did You Know? Presented by iHeartRadio. You know, what you're listening to right now. Did you know that iHeartRadio not only lets you listen to all your favorite AM/FM stations locally and nationwide for free, but iHeartRadio also gives you access to over 350,000 podcasts. Yeah, including all the most popular hosts and shows worldwide. Best of all, you can listen to all your podcasts for free. Tap on the podcast tab and explore podcasts from over 20 different topics: sports to comedy, history to crime, music to politics, and much, much more. While you're listening, iHeartRadio will remember where you left off and pick back up when you return. You can adjust your listening speeds to slow down or speed up your podcast, follow your favorite titles to get updates when new episodes drop, and download podcast episodes right on your phone so you can listen anytime, even without an internet connection. All the podcasts you want and all the functionality to make listening great. And you don't need any other app. It's all on iHeartRadio. #1 for music, radio, and podcasting, all in one app.
iHeartRadio. Harge and Henry, the morning kickoff. Weekdays at
Hey, in this first hour of the program, we had some Dallas Cowboys conversation. We heard from 2 Texas Longhorn football players, one on the offensive side, Trevor Goosey, one on the defensive side, Kevin Gilmore. We had Inconceivable Friday. So we've had like a real serious topic, right? In the first hour. Coming up in the second hour, and again, what we do on Fridays in the 3 o'clock hour during the summer is to bring you the music survey. Normally it's one person, like it was Bill Schoening last week, it was Mark Henry the week before. Today it's 2 people. It's a husband-wife team. My wife Linda will join me to do her music survey as I will do mine as well. That's coming up next here in the 3 o'clock hour on 1300 The Zone.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking and the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword Mike Rowe to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a best man speech, but getting one from some random +1.
I can't believe I'm standing here today. Seriously, why am I standing here?
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You've got apps for everything. Music, photos, even ordering coffee. But only one app gives you the live radio experience. It's radio your way. Anytime, anywhere. Join the millions already listening. The free iHeartRadio app. The #1 app for radio.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Hey, this is Jamie Loftus, and this is my new weekly show, 16th Minute of Fame, the podcast where every episode I take a closer look at an internet character of the day. Who were they? What made them so notorious? How did the internet, or sometimes the algorithm, choose them? And what does a person do when they're suddenly confronted with more attention than the human psyche can handle? Take The Dress, a story that went uber viral in early 2015 in spite of being, well, kind of a boring optical illusion. A mother of the bride in Scotland took a picture of a dress she was thinking about wearing to her daughter's wedding. But she saw the dress as blue with black lace, and her daughter saw it as white with gold lace. One BuzzFeed post later, every single person on the internet was talking about the dress. But to me, the dress is a story about the last couple of months when the internet was still sort of fun. It was shortly before the stories that spread across the internet stopped being driven by exploited millennials with useless arts degrees and started being decided by algorithms hell-bent on growing internet usership at all costs. And on a long enough timeline, the story of the dress is one entangled with abuse and media exploitation. Internet history is a tricky thing to be invested in. It feels like every time a bad with business billionaire buys up another platform, history starts being erased. With the team at Cool Zone Media, we're taking these characters' 16th minute of fame to see what their moment meant to them and what it says about us.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeart Radio app. He's a Texas legend, a Hall of Fame broadcaster, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, and your host of the Craig Way Show. Here he is now, Craig Way.
Second hour of the program here on this Friday afternoon on 1300 The Zone. Craig Way alongside the producer, Cameron Parker. Also, Antone Lycum alongside doing the. Would you guys say he's shadowing you today? Is that how that's working?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Is it going all right so far?
He hasn't done anything yet, so we'll find out this next hour. We're gonna.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna put him to the work here.
Okay, all right, that's good. Now you're still.
You can turn his mic on, so that's a troubling sign here.
There's good.
That's again. Go ahead, try it now.
No,
Nope.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Maybe
that
it's
microphone
that
works.
I think it's that microphone. Try that one there. We're in the big piece of chicken studio today. So I don't know.
So hitting the right button.
There it is.
There you go.
Definitely
Got it.
help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
On usually on means to turn the microphone on.
Yeah, I don't know. All I saw was an off button, but it was wonderfully hidden by these copies of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine,
which we're going to give away a couple of copies in the 4:00 hour. We're going to do that today. Today, Antone met my wife. You hadn't met Linda before, have you?
No, we had not.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Cameron, how long have you known Linda?
Let's see. When do you think was the first time I met her?
I think when you guys started working over here.
I think I knew you before then, right?
When we were across town?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't
maybe
think I'd ever met
you'll need to sit a little closer to the microphone.
Oh, I'm
there.
sorry.
You can pull it a little.
You can tell I'm
closer
not a
to-
professional.
Yeah, it's all right. But you did partake in this music survey. So normally, what we do with the music survey on Fridays is we bring in one person. In most cases, it's a staff member, but it isn't always a staff member. Yeah, that's probably, you want to move the camera over there. It's just a lot easier to look at on the camera than me.
No.
So anyway, we bring in a person to do this, to take this music survey. And I had been telling her, because Linda at one time you were a voice major when you were in college.
I was.
Yeah. She's a pretty good singer, but she
sing for us. Sing
No.
good.
No, don't do that.
I won't be doing that.
Kidding.
Yeah. But
Anton will sing for us.
yeah, you're right. Or he'll play drums while she sings, right? Anyway, so she has unique musical taste, and I have my own musical taste. And so I'd been after her to try to do this thing. And her professional thing is she is a special ed counselor here in the, and she also has a private practice as a licensed professional counselor, right? OPC,
That's correct.
Is that your designation?
OPC.
Okay. All I know is that when we got married, we bought this house in Georgetown, and she took one of the bedrooms and just completely converted it into a counseling studio, with the halo light and all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty impressive to see.
That's true.
That worked out. All right. So I'd been after her to do this, and she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, really, I'll do it. I said, I'll tell you what, I have to update mine. We'll do it on the same day. And you agreed to do it.
I did.
Under those circumstances. Okay. So for those of you who don't know what the music survey is, we review this every week. I tell people, because it's only fair, because there's some people who don't know what it is. It's a list of questions. Originally, the list was 11 questions. I got this from my friends George Dunham and Craig Miller from The Ticket, who I went to college with at North Texas. They're the morning guys, the musers, on the morning of The Ticket in Dallas. And I heard this a little over 3 years ago, and I thought it was pretty interesting listening to it. And they've had a lot of different celebrities take it, and all of their staff and all that sort of thing. And I decided, I thought we should try this. So when we were across town, we did it, and everybody was a part of it. Did it back then, and it went over very, very well. Okay, so then I came over here, and later this month will be the 2-year anniversary of me returning to the iHeart family and to AM 1300 The Zone, where I was for 19 years before I went across town, and now back, and it'll be 2 years. And I thought, we didn't do it last year. I thought it's time to bring it back. We'll get some other people who haven't done it before, and those of us who did do it, including Cameron, including Mike Hardball Harge, and myself, would update it. We would have an update, and it worked out. You had some different answers, right? When you did it, right?
I did.
Okay, all right. So, I do as well. And Linda's taking it for the first time. So the way this is, like I said, it's a list of questions. It was in its original form, it was 11 questions. I added a question to it this year that I thought needed to be added. So it's a dozen questions, and it's these questions in this order, and it invokes either the name of a musician or a band. And you are only allowed to use the name of the musician or the band one time, just to answer one question survey. In other words, you can't use the Beatles for one question and then come back with Paul McCartney and Wings in the other, because McCartney was in the Beatles. So you can't do that. So you can only, or Traveling Wilburys, because George Harrison, and you can't do that one time. If a person's involved in one question, they can't be involved in another. So that's how that works. So there's 12 questions. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll start on this first question.
Okay.
And then you start on the second. We'll alternate. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. So we list a band or artist, and then there's a little sample of the artist that comes underneath us. So if you're ready, Cam, we'll start with my first one. The first question is band or artist you hate. Mainly as an artist that when you hear their music come on, you instantly change the channel. That's how it is for me with Air Supply. Always been.
And this played at your wedding too, which is crazy.
Well, it wasn't played by design. That happened by accident. We had some beautiful music played at our wedding, right? We did. We did. He was a really good DJ. However, I didn't tell him during the dinner hour, and he said, "What do you want to play during the dinner hour?" I said, just yacht rock. We like yacht rock. Well, Air Supply, as much as I don't like them, they are in the yacht rock genre. So it just sounds so whiny and so it's a look at the antenna over there. Just so anyway, so yeah,
the antenna's a big Air Supply.
Okay, well there you go. So that's why.
Wow.
I just I like to say I understand musicians. They have their genre and their style and all that. Okay, you can kill it I'm all out of
You're all
listening
out of love for
capacity.
it.
So band or artist I hate is Air Supply, and that did not change from the last one I did 3 years ago. All right, Lynn, how about yours?
Okay. Well, mine is, I have to say, this was the hardest question for me to answer.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you don't
I
hate anybody.
I don't really hate anything, but I do hate one song. There's one song. I actually really like the artist, Harry Nilsson, and a lot of other songs. Cannot stand the song. Please turn it off.
And so this is Coconut by Harry Nilsson. And so we would be like driving down the road and I would, oh, Harry Nilsson coming in. She's like, do we have to play this song? And I'm like, and I said, Doctor. She didn't like that. Doctor. So anyway, yeah, Harry Nilsson.
Cannot stand it.
Yeah, yeah. So but why do you not like this particular song?
I don't, it's annoying.
Let me get this straight.
It's just very annoying,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I hate it.
You don't hate Harry Nilsson, the
No,
artist,
I
just this
don't.
one
I
particular
don't.
offer.
I like a lot of other songs.
Yeah.
But this one song.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
so I know-
Without You, you like
I love that
that?
song.
Me and My Arrow, you like that one? Okay. All right.
I do.
I get it. I think that it's not as bad as Copacabana, but I think it's in that area of songs where it's just like I have a certain
See,
image.
but the deal
of
is she
people
likes
that
Barry
listen.
Manilow. That's the
do.
thing. Although he's not on the survey,
He's
right?
not.
He's not. Okay.
He didn't make the cut. He almost did.
Yeah.
But
Okay. All right. So there's the band or artist you hate, or in Linda's case, the song you hate. All right,
Yeah.
Linda, you lead off the next question,
okay.
which is band or artist who you think is overrated. Now,
Okay.
overrated could mean just you think they've gotten more attention than they deserved over time, or whatever, or you just think they're just not very good.
Yeah. And in my case, with my artist, Christopher Cross,
Mm.
he's not bad, but I think he's overrated. I just don't think his music warrants the attention that he's received.
You mean like when he won like 5 Grammys?
I
You
know.
when
I guess it was a new sound, or I don't really know what happened with that, but I just don't think his songs they're very repetitive.
if anybody watched the Yacht Rock documentary, and you may remember this, Cameron, because I know you saw it. Remember when he was like, he won 5 Grammys. He won like Best New Artist, Best Song, a Song of the Year, Album of the Year, was all this kind of stuff. And apparently Barbara Streisand
Yeah.
got pretty pissed.
She
was not happy about it. Babs thought she was going to win, and she didn't. So she was unhappy. But he was starstruck when he saw her there, and he wanted to meet her. And they were like, "Yeah, tonight's not a good night for that. So they probably don't
Not
want
good
to
timing.
meet her tonight because she wasn't happy that that he won Song of the Year, Album of the Year, Best New Artist, all this stuff. But you think he's overrated?
I think he's overrated.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
I don't hate him.
right, just overrated.
Just overrated.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about my choice. I don't think I don't think the dude. I don't hate the dude or anything like that, but I'm just not into Drake because a lot of his stuff sounds repetitive, sounds monotonous, bad things. So I was put off by Drake with his hopping with his fandom. You remember that, don't you, Cam? From one team to another, he was like
Bandwagon.
Yeah.
See,
listen,
I would say that.
I'm sorry. That's just not real creative to me, and a lot of his stuff, So that's why I think it's overrated. I don't hate him. I think what are you saying, Anto?
Drake is one of these, like, it's my guilty pleasure. Like, I feel like I shouldn't enjoy Drake,
Uh-huh.
and I don't publicly enjoy Drake. And if you tell anybody, you're dead. But it is one of these things where it's like, I know his ghostwriters are good, and every time he goes through a big controversy, he loses them all, and then the quality goes way back down, and there's no point in listening to him. I think he's one of these guys that's like, he's being propped up by the industry. He's being, he's playing a role, and he's doing a really good job at it. But I know I'm not supposed to like this. But
Okay. All right. So we've gotten past the negative about Drake. We need a break. When we come back, we're going to move into the positive of the music survey, which is largely band and artists we really, really like when we continue on this Friday on 1300 The Zone.
Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish on me. Yeah.
Mark here. Stay connected to the Longhorns on the free iHeartRadio app.
Breaks the tackle 30, turns down the sidelines. See, get out to this one. Touchdown, Texas.
Just search 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em.
Ice Cube and the Big Three are coming live from Houston this Saturday starting 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS and Vice. Physical and fiercely competitive 3-on-3 basketball. With only 2 weeks to go, Miami, Detroit, Dallas, and Boston are tied for first place, and LA and Chicago are knocking on the door a game out. Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley, Dwight Howard, Corey Brewer, Greg Monroe, Glenn Rice Jr., Gary Payton, Nick Young, Montrezl Harrell, and more fight to win the Dr. J Championship Trophy. Big Three live on CBS and Vice this Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, Texas sports fans, Thomas J. Henry Law is thrilled to be part of UT Athletics action on and off season. Our athletes give it their all on the field, whether it's during practice or in the heat of the game. Thomas J. Henry and over 250 attorneys give it their all when it comes to helping you and your family get the justice you deserve. Whether it's on the court or in the courtroom, dedication, strategy, and teamwork is crucial. For over 30 years, Thomas J. Henry Law has been committed to securing meaningful results for the injured people and their families. After all, their law firm would be nothing without the communities and the individuals they serve. Visit tjhlaw.com to find out more. If you or your loved one have been injured, their attorneys are available 24/7 to help you. They have a reputation and resources to handle any case. Free consultations with no fees collected unless they win for you. Let's stay committed to supporting Texas Athletic Game Days, sponsored by Thomas J. Henry Law, on and off the field. It's all about the win.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher. Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I can be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
iHeart is America's #1 podcast network. Open the free iHeart app and explore podcasts like this.
In 1982, Atari players across the country settled into their shag carpeting. Homework went by the wayside, and so did sleep. These gamers only had one thing on their minds: Sword Quest. This wasn't just a new game. Epic and ambitious, the company promised $150,000 in prizes to 4 finalists, with the Sword of Ultimate Sorcery going to the grand prize winner.
Just got this, $3.35 an hour minimum wage job, and next thing you know, I got this freaking $25,000 prize.
But what started as a video game promotion would become one of the most controversial moments in 80s pop culture, with broken promises, urban myths, payoffs, and a central mystery that's consumed fans for decades.
I never ended up seeing these prizes in person.
How did all those prizes, valued at $150,000, become something of a lost treasure? I'm Jamie Loftus. Join us for The Legend of Sword Quest, a podcast about the fall of Atari and the disappearing Sword Quest prizes. We'll follow the quest for missing treasure across 4 decades. Listen to The Legend of Sword Quest on the iHeartRadio app.
It's the morning kickoff show with Mike Hardball Hart and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. Only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Here we go. All together now. Thank God it's... Love the bass voice. One more time. Thank God it's... Yeah, we are here on Sports Radio AM 1300 Zone. We're doing the music survey during this hour of the program, and already on the text line, somebody striking back at Linda for her choice of Christopher Cross being overrated.
I knew I'd get in trouble for that.
Texter says, easy on Christopher Cross. Said he's an Alamo Heights alum. Go Mules. There you go. He is from the San Jose, and then lived in Austin an awful long time as well, obviously. Okay, so we're doing this music survey where we, the first two questions were of the negative variety, band or artist you hate, and then band or artist you think is overrated. Now we get to the ones we like. First is, and this will be my turn to go first, is band or artist who is picked this band as a guilty pleasure band 3 years ago, and I got raked over the coals by a lot of fans. What are you doing? They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How can you say America is guilty pleasure? And I said, you know what? You're exactly right. In fact, I think they're underrated with what they did. It's three guys who are growing up in London as children of American military people, and they developed their own sound and called themselves America. They were living in England, and then they moved to America. So, yeah, you and I got a chance to see them.
I'm so happy we were able to do that.
Yeah. So, and of course, Ventura Highway is one of Linda's favorite stories. Was, were we engaged yet? Yeah, we were engaged. We were out in Los Angeles, and we were actually driving on the Ventura Freeway, which is basically what the Ventura Highway is, which is, I think some would call it the 134 out there. Where there's the Ventura Freeway. And this song came on the radio. Ventura Highway came on the air while we were driving down the Ventura Freeway. So that's when we knew we were headed for the altar, I guess. Okay, all right. How about your underrated band or artist?
Well, I have this experience with a lot of artists back in the 70s. I kind of thought was, I got tired of it, of hearing the songs. And then it just became very routine to me. But then you and I started going to see these bands live. And I was like, whoa, I really love this band. I never knew it. And so that happened with several artists. And this is one of them, Little River Band.
And this was the song that Cameron was playing at the start of the show. I think is when you went out to get coffee.
Really?
Because he said we were going to do songs that had Friday involved in the lyrics or the title. That's why we just came back with thank God it's Friday. But yeah, we got a chance to see Little River Band at a smoke-filled casino in Oklahoma during the pandemic. And everybody's singing. And so what was the phrase used so popular? Aerosolization was going on all around the thing. And I said, if we don't get COVID out of this, we ain't ever
We'll
get
never
it.
get it.
And we didn't get COVID from it. And we were like 12 rows from the stage. But Little River Band, yeah. And obviously they don't have many of the original members left. And that's the way it is with a lot of yacht rock bands and older bands as well. If you don't have that. So, yeah, I agree with you about Little River Band. Okay, next, when we submitted our surveys to Cameron, I thought there was a risk. I thought there was a problem, or not a problem, but I thought there was the possibility of us having what we used to call, when we were collecting baseball cards, doubles, getting doubles. In other words, picking the same artist for the same category. And I think we have that here. You're leading this one off, which is now, and I should point this out. This is the first of 4 categories that if you really, really are devoted to one specific band or artist, you could pretty much use the same name for all 4 questions. But for the purposes of of the survey, you're only allowed to use it one time. So the first of these 4 is band or artist you love.
That would be Billy Joel.
And Billy Joel was another one that you were kind of tired of in the 70s
Yes.
and 80s. Is that the way you
That's
explained
true.
it to me one time?
That's true. He was.
What changed it?
I just think just our experience together of listening to the music and also going to the concert in Fenway Park was pretty cool.
Linda gave me as a Christmas gift, I think 3 years ago or 4 years ago, you gave me, so here's Christmas gift. I opened the Christmas gift and it's a pair of tickets because she knew how I felt about Billy Joel. And it was a pair of tickets to see Billy Joel at Fenway Park, Boston. And I was like, wow, tickets to see Billy. Can I take anyone?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
She said, as long as I'm the other one.
Yes, exactly.
And I was only kidding on that. So we did that. We were actually on vacation on the North Carolina coast where we go, but we flew up to Boston for this. And you said this particular song, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, which Billy Joel has described as 3 separate pieces of work that he stitched together into one song with the help of his producer at the time, Phil Ramone. But you said this was the song that blew you away at the concert.
Absolutely. It was just phenomenal.
Because it started with kind of a classical feel. They did almost like
An
a
opera
preamble. Yes.
One of the singers sang opera.
Yeah.
And it was beautifully done. And I don't know, it was just kind of transformative.
So this is when it goes from part 1 to part 2. And he said this was called, this particular piece was spending a day on Oyster Bay or something. He had some lyrics that he threw together. And then, of course, it gets to the big crescendo where it gets in the Ballad of Brenda and Eddie with the thing. So, yeah, it's on the Stranger album, which is the thing that really exploded in. Well, like I said, this was going to be one of the doubles because I also, now I will tell you, 3 years ago, Billy Joel was my selection for great band or artist to see live. But I had another selection for that, so I went to this. Now, this is from one of his, I think, more underrated, but one of the best rock albums of the 80s, The Nylon Curtain. This is Pressure. And I kind of identify with that. Because a lot of times we have to work in a pressure-filled environment. We have to deal with that. But on this album is Allentown,
one of my favorites.
Goodnight Saigon. There was 2 or 3 other really good ones that are on this particular album. And for those of us who grew up in the MTV video generation, this video for this is absolutely amazing. And by the way, if you haven't seen the Billy Joel documentary, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that's band or artists we love. All right. Next is band or artists we can listen to over and over. Anybody that listens to this show, they know how I feel because quite often on Wednesdays, we're doing Yacht Rock Wednesdays. And some of the godfathers of Yacht Rock are the Doobie Brothers. And Michael McDonald is the godfather of Yacht Rock. He just is. I see you shaking your head over there, Anton.
It is in approval. It is actually, I
okay.
love Michael McDonald.
Okay.
I got to see the Doobie Brothers with Michael McDonald and the original singer with my mom last year.
Yeah, they're at Moody.
That was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. It was almost like album accurate, note for note, perfect.
There are people, I know purists, Doobie Brother purists.
They opened for the Eagles. That's Steely Dan.
That was Steely Dan. Which didn't make the survey this year. They made the survey for me last time, but the Doobies did this time. And there are Steely Dan, or rather Doobie Brothers purists who only are interested in the pre-Michael McDonald era.
Yeah, I know. I like
the
both
Pat
Doobies.
Simmons and Tom Johnson, and I like both incarnations, including that. So, band I could listen to over and over is Doobie Brothers. This was taking it to the streets. How about you?
Mine, James Taylor.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. Got all excited when I took you to Fort Worth to see
Yes.
James Taylor and Jackson Brown.
I had never seen James Taylor in concert, and I always loved him. So
Now, how about this particular selection you've chosen here for James Taylor? Because
It's one of my
he had
favorites.
some mega hits. When you think about,
it's true.
Fire and Rain or Mexico, or some of the others. But
He did a duet with Joni Mitchell singing this song.
Okay.
It's really beautiful too.
I see where you're going with this. Okay. All right. So there is James Taylor. All right. Next category is band or artist who made you fall in love with music. So your choice?
Yeah, so mine is kind of, I don't know if a lot of people know about this band, but it's The Association. They're from the 60s. I was the baby of the family, so I had a brother and a sister that are 10 and 12 years older than me. And so I learned a lot about music from them. And this is one of my brother's favorites. And I decided I really wanted to be a singer.
Listening to The
Listening to this
Association.
music. Yeah, for sure.
Great harmonies.
Yeah.
But as you educated me, this song is not about a woman named Mary.
No, it's not. No, I didn't know of this when I was 7 or 8.
Mary, as in short for Mary Jane.
Exactly. This has a mean recorder solo in it too.
Yeah, it's a very much a Will Ferrell Anchorman.
I mean, phenomenal
type riff with the recorder going on, with the flute there that happens on
Highly
this.
recommend if you've never heard of them to check them out.
Because you like some of the other songs of theirs.
Some of the other ones are more like love songs or slower. This one's more upbeat, but
yeah,
like Never My Love or
Windy.
Along Comes Windy. Along Comes Windy.
Wrong.
Windy.
Just Windy.
Yeah, Windy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And let's see what else.
Is this
Cherish?
Cherish. All right. Is this where the recorder comes in right here? I think it's coming right here.
It's coming right after this.
Right here?
Might be one more verse.
Right here.
That's it.
Just kind of imagine like Will Ferrell from Anchorman, playing the flute like that. Yeah. This is like what, 1967?
It's actually a recorder.
It's a recorder.
Yeah, it's not a flute.
So this is like what, 1967? 66?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there?
66, I think.
Okay. So The Association is band or artist made you fall in love with music. Now, a lot of people say the band or artist that makes them fall in love with music because it timestamps where they first have a real good memory of music. And if you don't count I'm Popeye the Sailor Man, the first single that was given to me, the first single I ever bought was this funny song in 1970 when I was 9 years old. Turns out to be one of the greats, Van Morrison. Now, Van Morrison had many, many mega hits. This was not a mega hit, but it's what drew me into music. This is Blue Money. I did not know, as you did not know what Along Comes Mary was about. I did not know that this song, Blue Money, was basically about posing in a nude magazine. You go out and spend all your blue money. It's this kind of thing. Tiger smiled and said, "Take 5, honey." I didn't know it. I just thought it was a funny little song, but it helped me fall in love with music. Okay, and then one more before the break here, and again, this is the fourth of these, is the band or artist that changed my life. Well, for me, it's pretty easy because in my life, as the song is, the Beatles certainly changed my life in a lot of ways. And this particular song was played at a wedding. Played at a lot of weddings, I would imagine, especially. Anton should know this is the one song I actually learned to play drums. It's not real complicated.
Oh, no. It's
symbols.
Da, 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 da. There you go. Yeah, Ringo's great to learn from. And if you are a prospective drummer out there, a good thing to remember is that he always leads with his left hand, which is very, very uncommon. And,
Wow.
and as soon as you start doing that, you will immediately notice it totally changes the sound. You hit it so much more on the head. Like when you just I don't know. Most people lead with the right hand.
Yeah.
Switch it around. He wasn't a very good drummer, but he was one of the greatest. You know?
Yeah. We're going to see him in September. We're going out to Vegas when he's
Very
closing out his residency with his all-star band. Very cool. But anyway, the Beatles did change my life. A lot of the ways I look at music and philosophy and things like that. What about the band artists that changed your life? I think I know the answer to this question.
No, I think you do. Well, it would have to be Joni Mitchell, because when I started listening to her in my 19, 20, around that time, it was just so different from anything I'd really ever, listened to before, and especially during her jazz years, this is one of the albums, Hijara, that Jaco Pastorius played with her. And I think I put you through listening to the entire live concert on the way to the beach.
It was great. and so it got me interested in it. So what did I do? I dropped a surprise on her, and the day after the Georgia home football game last year, I needed to clear my mind anyway. After that, we flew to Los Angeles to see Joni Mitchell at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, that was magical.
Yeah.
And it was so wonderful that you did that for me.
All right. So those are those 4 related questions. We've got 4 more questions to get to, and we'll kind of accelerate our process coming up when we continue with a Music Survey Friday on 1300 The Zone.
I fell in with some
On a recent podcast, a well-respected business leader said the best companies are the ones that solve problems in the market. Well, consider this. New vehicle transaction prices hover around $48,000 today. That's double where they were in 2010, and they far outpace wage increases. Affordability is a problem, and with talks of tariffs and other noise, customers are looking for a solution, and that solution is affordable monthly payments. Some banks have dealt with this by extending financing terms out to 84, even 96 months. In fact, over 20% of auto loans today are 7 years long. This is why more clients are considering leasing than any other time in recent history. Apple Leasing has thousands of active clients on the road right now, and many of them are repeat or were referred. We have experts that specialize in solving the high payment problem with the Easy Lease. No money down, payment significantly lower than buying, in terms that make sense. Why wouldn't you call Apple Leasing at 346-9977 or go to appleleasing.com?
I'm Burt Ward, Robin from TV's Batman, and I believe there's nothing more precious than life. 20 years ago, we got a dog for our daughter. Then she fell in love with 2 Great Dane puppies. We were worried about the short lifespan of dogs. We created Gentle Giants Dog and Puppy Food and a special feeding and care program to add years to the lives of our dogs. And we'd like to do the same thing for you and your dog. Life doesn't have to be too short for your best friend.
Gentle Giants, because there's nothing more precious than life.
It's almost time for kickoff. Brought to you by Bud Light.
Breaks a tackle, 30, turns down the sideline. Say goodnight to this one. Touchdown, Texas.
Listen to every play, every touchdown, every win on 1300 The Zone.
Fires for the end zone. It's intercepted. Kicked off. This ball game is over.
Today's countdown is
29 days.
presented by Bud Light all season long on the free iHeartRadio app.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Your summer might be winding down, but there's still plenty of warm weather on the way. And at Macy's, it's the perfect time to shop late summer deals like cotton dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and more that you can wear now and layer up later for $150 and under. Plus, new Levi's are here, like trending cinched waist jeans for 30% off. So come into Macy's and walk out with late summer deals too good to miss. Ending Sunday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
AM 1300 The Zone occasionally holds contests. For more information about contests on this station, go to am1300thezone.com/rules.
The countdown to the NFL season is on while the pads are popping in camp. Get ready for the new season with iHeart, the official partner of the NFL Podcast Network.
Jim Harbaugh, how you feeling?
Oh, so excited. It's the start of the year.
Shows like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
We are going to go through the best position battles of the 2025 training camp.
Breakouts, holdouts, and fantasy sleepers. Be the first to know. Search NFL and find your next preset now.
I'm Gary Veter, and I have a new limited series podcast called Number One Dad. In the 90s, my dad and I ran a con for years where we snuck into the world's most prestigious arena, New York's Madison Square Garden.
Your dad is the type of person that likes an adventure and likes the possibility of opportunity.
As I got older, I learned this wasn't the only scheme my dad was pulling.
He wants me to act like my injury is even worse for a payout.
He actually represented me. He's posing as my attorney in a court.
There were moments where Manny would assume the role of undercover police officer.
My father's never-ending string of lies ultimately broke apart my family. And at 15 years old, I completely cut him out of my life. That was 24 years ago. But I just had a son of my own, and it brought back tons of memories of my childhood, along with tons of questions I wanted answered. How did my father become this scheming mastermind? Was he like this with everyone? And is it possible, after all these years, he's actually changed? I have no idea where he lives or what he's up to, but my goal with this podcast is to track him down and get to the truth about who my father, Manny Veter, really is. This is Number One Dad. Listen to Number One Dad.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
All right, continuing here on a Friday during the music survey, I can promise you ABBA did not make either of our surveys.
No.
Either not even for band or artist you hate or feel is overrated.
I don't hate them.
I don't either.
They're just
Not a
my
fan.
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You said you had something else to offer about Joni
I
Mitchell.
just
before we
wanted
move
to
on?
mention just Joni Mitchell, I think, she's kind of like the female counterpart to Bob Dylan because of the way she
Mm-hmm.
writes. She's very poetic and she can paint a picture and take you to another place and time. So
That's true.
just wanted
That's
to say
true.
that.
It was
Yeah.
great on that. All right. So we've got 4 questions left here on the survey. Next one is, and I'm always interested to hear these, a band or artist who surprised you. So it's your turn to lead off. Who's the band or artist who surprised you?
Herb Alpert.
And you picked Rise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because obviously when we do Inconceivable, we have that trilogy of
Right. I
from his
didn't want
days
to
in
do
the 60s and
those,
the
but-
Tijuana Brass.
But this is a great song.
It is 1979. And remember when we went to see him the second time, the lady was asking for him to play and he'd already done it. So they did
Right.
a little
Can you
more.
play right? I just did it. Yeah.
It's part of a medley. But see, no, explain why this surprised you.
Well, because I mean, you got tickets for us to go see the concert for Herb Alpert and his wife,
Lonnie Hall.
Lonnie Hall, and I thought, yeah, it'll be good. You know, I knew I'd enjoy it, but I didn't know how good it would be. That's what surprised me. So it was just really, really good.
Tell me if you agree with me on this. What makes Herb Alpert even better and greater is that he's doing this at the age of 92.
I mean,
he's 92 and he's still blowing this horn. Willie Nelson's 92
Yep.
and he's still going.
It's incredible. the
We saw
energy.
Tom Jones. He's 85.
Oh my gosh, he was awesome. He could have been on this list for me too.
Yeah.
In this category.
People are saying, Craig and Linda go and see all these aging artists because it makes them feel younger. Hey, it probably. I don't know.
Well, we both love music.
When my mom was alive a few years ago, and it was after we'd gone the first time to see Herb Alpert,
Mhm.
and I was telling her all about it because
Yeah.
she was a big fan of
And your mom was
his back in the
quite
days.
the singer.
She was. She sang in nightclubs in New York. She did for a time. All right. To me, surprise. Now, surprise to me usually is renowned. Last time for me, it was Lady Gaga. This time, it has Cameron Parker shaking his head. You two? Neither of you guys are in the Benson Boone. Neither of you guys. Is that the deal? Is he band artist you hate? Is he overrated? What's your take on Benson Boone?
Doesn't even deserve to be in the survey at all. Like,
Really?
you should not even mention him.
And that's because
Terrible.
terrible
Absolutely
in
terrible.
that. Give me a little specificity. What do you not
Everything.
like?
Overrated. He sucks.
No, tell me
Everything about
why.
him.
What is it you don't like?
His whole shtick. Just everything about him.
I saw him on Saturday Night Live. I thought he was pretty good. He surprised me in that respect.
I'm not going to say anything disparaging about Benson Boone, but
I will.
I'm a little bit.
Just from a guy who loves Kendrick Lamar.
I mean, but I'm a little bit put off that you would put him right up next to Lady Gaga. She's a queen. She has done so much for music.
She got the first call 3 years ago. Now I had to do another one that surprised me. Because when I think of surprise, I'm thinking, because I'm an old curmudgeon, right? So I want to hear something newer whose style I kind of like. And I kind of like his style and his vocal ability, but
I don't think you were equating.
no.
In any.
No,
fashion.
and the reason why she
Yeah.
surprised me because her vocal ability was through the roof. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, she's insane.
But I like what I heard from him. But you, not so much.
No.
Dan. Okay. All right. All right. Next up is Guilty Pleasure. Should I put him on Guilty Pleasure? Would that have been?
No, I don't think it should have been. Unless it was artists you hate, then I think that's the only
All right.
spot
That's
he
it. That's
deserves.
the
All
only
right.
thing
So
Cam
for
would
my
approve of.
Guilty Pleasure, it's almost 180 from.
Oh, your
Just-
daughter likes
Yeah.
Really?
That's true.
Yeah.
And so does my granddaughter. Maybe that should come as a
Oh,
relief.
yeah.
But the Guilty Pleasure for me is John Denver. When I was younger, I didn't like John Denver that much. But I've came to appreciate his music later. Not necessarily Take Me Home Country Roads, because I heard it every time when Texas played West Virginia up there. Not necessarily that
Not
one.
that one.
But Sunshine on My Shoulders, Annie's song.
Mhm.
And then this one. This is just kind of the warm folk thing thinks about. It appeals to me as a guy who travels a lot.
Mhm.
It's great to come home and see you, how great it is to be back home. That's
I like this
there
one.
is that. Okay, how about your Guilty Pleasure band or artist?
The Carpenters.
Boy, you truly did go Guilty Pleasure, didn't you? Yeah.
I used to, this is again kind of goes back to my childhood of, wanting to be a singer, and I really loved Karen Carpenter, and also her story is sad, and
Yeah.
but the music is beautiful.
She had a great voice.
She did,
Yeah, great voice. And can play
I
drums.
pretty
really
much know
good.
every word of every song they did.
You knew that,
Yeah.
didn't you? Didn't you, Anton? That she was a great drummer. She was an
I
outstanding
knew
drummer.
I knew she was an insane drummer before I knew she was even a singer.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's there's a John Bonham quote or something like that where they were put up against each other for like best drummer of all time, like some like Rolling Stone magazine survey, and they asked him like, who do you think the best drummer? How does it feel to be the best drummer of all time? And he goes, I don't know. Ask Karen Carpenter.
That's
If you-
great.
Oh man, in
That's
her
great.
prime, she was quick. She was sharp.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the Guilty Pleasure. All right. Band or artist you should have seen by now, Linda.
For me, that's Elton John, because
Okay.
he's such a, classic, and we've missed opportunities to see him, and we should have definitely.
You got to see him do backing vocals on
Oh,
one.
that's
on the,
true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but that doesn't really count.
No.
I mean, Joni
At the
Mitchell
Hollywood
last year
Bowl.
brought him out along with Meryl Streep and
Mhm.
several other big A-list names, and they were just hanging out.
Annie Lennox.
And she goes into his song from 1979, "I'm Still Standing," although she changed all the lyrics, but he did backing vocals with it.
She did such a good job of that. That was such a great rendition of that song.
Yeah. Okay.
Joni.
So,
But yeah,
yeah.
and this song, this is about his attempted suicide. So
Yes, that's true.
um,
Yep, that's true.
pretty deep song. So.
So yeah, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is something else. Okay. Mine, a band or artist I should have seen by now was Simple Math. There were several opportunities that I should have either worked a concert with Chicago or seen them in concert, most notably a year and a half ago, where Linda gave me, again, 2 tickets. We were going to go see Chicago here in town, and I got an upper respiratory infection. I got sick as a dog. I would have loved to have seen Chicago. Keith Moreland saw him. Keith and Steve Moreland saw him when we were in Las Vegas for the baseball event, but I had to come back because of basketball. So I missed another opportunity. Hopefully we'll get to see him before it's done. Okay? All right. Next is a great band to see live. This band for me was, I put in the underrated category the last time. Not this time. And in fact, you may not have an opportunity to see them live anymore because Jeff Lynne injured his hand and they were on the Over and Out tour. But we did see Electric Light Orchestra. We did see ELO last October.
Yep.
Same week we saw Joni Mitchell out in LA at the end of the
we
week.
had like a string of concerts in October.
Yeah. And we saw ELO with a great Jeff Lynne. In fact, the band is now called Jeff Lynne's ELO as it was going down. And this is off the Out of the Blue album that has Mr. Blue Sky on it and all that. So it's good. Yeah, it's from off of that double album. And Turn to Stone is that one. What about you?
Same.
Oh, look at you. Another duplicate.
Just a different song choice.
Well, okay. It's Mr. Blue Sky.
Right.
Yeah, a live version of it. Okay.
They were great. It was
yeah,
very exciting.
And was that another band where you were kind of like, yeah,
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. And it was great. For
It was so
Mr.
good.
Blue Sky. Okay. All right. Our final question is, this is the one I added. Band or artist you would have liked to have seen, but is either retired or no longer with us.
Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin.
Oh, no. You know, it's hard for me to listen to this song and not think of
not gonna
that
ruin this, are you?
scene in The Big Chill.
Oh, yeah.
Where all the stuff's going on there. Yeah.
Yep. Mhm. I do remember that.
The Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin.
Wouldn't that be a great concert to go to?
Oh, yeah. It would have been great. Yeah, and,
Phenomenal.
And see, what's great about the music survey is the two of us can look at the same question. This is great. Yeah, that's great. Okay. When I take you out for Asian food, do I make you feel like a natural woman? If that's not the case, okay. So there's, yeah, that's great. But what I started to say is what's great about this is that we can approach this, and our answers are almost kind of 180 in comparison. Here, my choice, no longer with us, the great Gordon Lightfoot.
Picking up the pieces of my sweet shattered dream. I wonder how the old folks are tonight.
Of course, he was from Canada. And he had that way. It passed away a couple of years ago at the age of 84. And I know a lot of people think of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. That was probably his biggest hit, but I always loved this one, Carefree Highway. Trying to get back to see some, yeah. So there it is. There's a music survey. We'll be back to wrap up hour number 2 on 1300 The Zone.
Let me slip away on you.
Wake up with Harge and Henry in the morning kickoff.
Come on, go here. Sounding like Darth Vader. I'm going Lou Rawls. Lou Rawls? Lou Rawls. Come on, man. Don't blow my head up. I'm walking bow-legged now. You couldn't have never told me that. Never. That's what it's all about right there. Don't never mind a hairline like mine.
Weekdays at 7, 1300 The Zone.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, Setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a month in bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The Girlfriends is back with a new season, and this time I'm telling you the story of Kelly Harnett. Kelly spent over a decade in prison for a murder she says she didn't commit. As she fought for her freedom, she taught herself the law.
He goes, oh God, Harnett, jailhouse lawyer.
And became a beacon of hope for the women locked up alongside her.
I think I was put here to save souls by getting people out of prison.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Girlfriends Jailhouse Lawyer, and listen now.
My perfect day has sand, salt, water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
iHeart is America's #1 podcast network. Open the free iHeart app and explore podcasts like this.
1971. It was a simpler time, a groovy time. Soul Train had just started chugging along. Everyone had a lava lamp for some reason. Weeble started to wobble, but as we all know, they don't fall down. It's really something. But it wasn't all Weebles and bell-bottoms. There was also the Vietnam War and a growing nationwide movement protesting it.
Look behind you. See the thousands marching today.
Across the country, people were speaking up, and the more they did, the more they learned about the hidden underbelly of the most powerful law enforcement agency in the land. I'm Ed Helms, host of Snafu, Season 2, Medberg, the story of a daring heist that exposed J. Edgar Hoover's epic FBI snafu. Hear the incredible true story that almost got buried.
I was told that it might not be published the next day or might not be published ever.
As told by the ordinary citizens who took extraordinary measures.
Getting caught was virtually inevitable.
To expose J. Edgar Hoover's secret FBI.
Many of the techniques were clearly illegal, but justified in the interest of national security.
If it meant some risks that were involved, well, that's what citizens sometimes have to do.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
It's the Morning Kickoff Show with Mike Hardball Hart and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. Only on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Steely Dan in there somewhere because I enjoy it. I can listen to them over and over like I did before. They'll be on the next survey probably. Hey, thank you for doing this.
It was really fun.
Yeah, you're free to go. Oh, no, wait. I'm your ride home.
Yeah.
You're in. We got one more hour of the show to go. Stay with us here on 1300.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys. And I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You've got an app for music, an app for photos, maybe even one that helps you sleep. But only one app puts the live radio dial in your pocket and lets you save your favorite stations, playlists, and podcasts as presets. Get the free iHeartRadio app, the #1 app for radio.
Really? Hey there, I'm Jason Alexander, and this is my dear friend, Peter Tilden.
Hey, Jay. By the way, the script says best friend.
Yes, it does, Peter. Anyway, Peter and I met over 25 years ago and became really good friends.
Best friends.
Because we had two things in common. Number one, we like to argue about everything, driving, food, music.
No, we don't. And number two, when things annoy us or they perplex us or just don't seem to make any sense, whether it's something in the news or in our personal lives, we go, really, no, really.
And then we have to find answers.
So we created a podcast called Really No Really. It's about finding the answers to all the things that make us go, really, no, really. Jerry Seinfeld wondered why they refused to make the stall door go all the way to the floor in a public bathroom, but he didn't get an answer. We did by reaching out to an expert.
And talking dogs. Really? No, really? We spoke to the pet parent of a dog who's become a social media star to find out if pressing buttons on a soundboard with a paw or a nose is truly communicating, or are they just showing off?
Competitive eaters, they don't chew during competitions. How about that?
Really? No, really?
That's what we heard. So we spoke to some of the biggest champions of the hot dog eats hot dog world of competitive eating to get the answer. And those are just a few of the things we'll explore on the Really No Really podcast with Jason Alexander and Peter Tilden.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeart Radio app. It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster, Craig Way.
Third and final hour of the program here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Glad to have you with us on this Friday afternoon. Thanks again to the wife for jumping in on the music survey. So thanks to Linda for doing that. Both of us picked Billy Joel as And Artists We Love, and there's Billy Joel. By the way, her own self-confession. She did not know that was a Billy Joel song when it was the other day. I said, my 4 o'clock hour. She goes, that's Billy Joel. I'm like, yeah, That's Not Her Style is the name of that. From the Stormfront album is that. But she quickly learned to appreciate that. We're with you up until 5 o'clock. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll shift to Major League Baseball. The trade deadline has come and gone. Deals have been made. Cameron Parker, in your estimation? I saw grades, by the way. I don't know if you saw the MLB grades. Did you see those?
I did not.
The Rangers got, I think it was a B-.
Yeah.
On that for the deals that they made. Do you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I went in knowing the Rangers needed to bolster their bullpen. A little bit surprised they went after Merrill Kelly, the Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher who pitched against them in the World Series 2 years ago. I like him. I just worry about what they gave up. 3 prospects, including Cole Drake, who I saw pitch for the Express against Las Vegas. He started the season Double-A Frisco. Fantastic pitcher. He's going to be a great prospect for the D-backs organization, but gave up a lot for a guy who is in the last year of his contract and will be an unrestricted free agent. That always scares me because the Rangers under John Daniels made a lot of moves like that in the mid 2010s, going for pitchers from the last year, like Ryan Dempster. I think there was another one, and then they end up signing somewhere else the next year, and then you just gave up 3 of your best prospects in your farm system for a guy who's only going to pitch for a couple months. So, how Christian likes to operate, chips all in. He loves to win. He's put a lot of money into this roster this season, one of the top payrolls in all of baseball. But, if you don't make the playoffs, it doesn't matter. And, the pitching is one thing, but the Rangers' bats have been a little bit cold in Los Angeles and now Seattle, not scoring a single run last night to the Mariners, who the big dumper, Cal Riley.
The big dumper.
We'll see at 42 home runs now, number 1 in MLB over Shohei Ohtani. So needs some bats, and the Rangers did not go after a bat. I thought they would possibly add maybe a backup catcher, but, time will tell. I like Phil Matone. I love Danny Columbi. He's 2 fantastic bullpen guys, and Merrill Kelly's having a fantastic season. But hey, if you don't score any runs, Craig, it doesn't matter.
Kind of an important weekend series for him. Today is August 1st, so there's basically 2 months left in the season. So there's time. They're 5.5 back of the Astros in the American League West. In the wild card standings, they are 1 game out of the 3rd spot, held by Seattle following the Mariners' win last time. It's a pretty important series in the PNW this weekend in the Pacific Northwest. But in terms of the grades that were handed out, the Rangers, I want to make sure I get the analysis on this correct and looking at it. By the way, the Astros got an A- on theirs.
They went all in.
The Mariners got an A. The Rangers got a solid B, a B. Adding Merrill Kelly to the rotation to sit behind Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi was a great move. And the bullpen depth added with Phil Matone and Danny Columbi was also great. They really needed to shore up their DH spot, though, is what they said off of that. The other grades that came down out of this in the American League, the other grades that were handed out, the A's, the Athletics got a B+. The Orioles got an F. Said this isn't a grade in the here and now, but rather one over the long haul. So they talk about they really didn't build for the Red Sox got a C-, getting Dustin May from the Dodgers. And Steven Matz is a long reliever. White Sox got a C. We'll see what Gene Watson thinks when he joins us in a few minutes. Guardians, F. The Guardians traded 2 players who are currently injured and otherwise didn't do anything. Traded. They're only 2.5 games out of a playoff spot. So why are they trading Shane Bieber when they have a lackluster back end of the rotation? To save money. That's right. Again, 2.5 games out. Pathetic. That was the write-up on them. Tigers got to be Astros an A-. The trade deadline was another reminder that just being in the playoff race is no longer good enough in Houston, as the Astros got back Carlos Correa in a blockbuster move, in addition to grabbing infielder Ramon Urias and outfielder Jesus Sanchez. They didn't get a starting pitcher, but they have 4 coming back from injury in August. In the National League, the Padres got an A+. A+ for theirs. Giants got a B, basically dumping theirs as the Cardinals did. Nationals got a C. They did one deal with it. Pirates got a D. Phillies B+. Mets an A-. Brewers B-. Dodgers got a B+. Said it certainly won the headline-grabbing deadline for the reigning champs, but given their roster depth, it really didn't have to be. Alex Call, that's the guy they got from the Nationals, is a strong targeted strike for their troubled outfield, and they got an excellent return from the Dustin May swap from Boston. I'm in agreement with that. Dustin May just never really seemed to launch into it and do it. We'll see what Gene Watson thinks. Coming up next, we'll visit with the front office man of the Chicago White Sox to talk about the baseball trip. We have some more Longhorn football sound we'll get to as well, and we'll continue on 1300 The Zone.
Our ink space that's designed to last, Mueller Inc.
I cannot believe that you and I are seeing things exactly the same. It's a miracle. Oh my God. Hey, Marcus, write it down. It's a miracle.
Paradise at MGM Resorts in Las Vegas. Sip on a refreshing cocktail, lounge in a luxury cabana, earn on nonstop fun with MGM Rewards. Book a sizzling summer escape today. Visit MGMRewards.com for details.
In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia can get more people to hear your message than anyone else. For better results for every budget, visit iHeartAdvertising.com.
Ugh. Kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. Relax. Just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Ice Cube and the Big Three are coming live from Houston this Saturday starting 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS and Vice. Physical and fiercely competitive 3-on-3 basketball. With only 2 weeks to go, Miami, Detroit, Dallas, and Boston are tied for first place. And LA and Chicago are knocking on the door a game out. Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley, Dwight Howard, Corey Brewer, Greg Monroe, Glenn Rice Jr., Gary Payton, Nick Young, Montrezl Harrell, and more fight to win the Dr. J Championship Trophy. Big Three live on CBS and Vice this Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Heading on over to 35 northbound between Slaughter and Stosny, you have about a 5-minute delay. 35 southbound between Airport and Riverside, that's 12 minutes added to your drive. And Mopac now slow northbound between Rollingwood and Steck. 8 minutes in the backup for you. I'm Kat Cortez with your Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. If you want way more food for way less dollars, you've got it with Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. From classics to favorites to new items like the crispy chicken burrito. Get more for less. Only at Taco Bell. At participating stores, which vary. Limited time. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra.
iHeartRadio brings you New to View, Streaming Edition.
Looking for something to watch? Listen up. Next week on Netflix, Tuesday, the debut of the sports docuseries SEC Football Any Given Saturday. Next Wednesday, the much-anticipated Season 2, Part 1 premiere of the Netflix smash hit Wednesday, starring Jenna Ortega. Next Friday on Netflix, the documentary film Stolen, Heist of the Century. Next Monday on Hulu, the return of Mike Judge's animated series King of the Hill. Next Tuesday on Hulu, the launch of the docuseries Capturing Their Killer, The Girls on the High Bridge. Next Wednesday on Disney Plus, the Season 3 debut of the animated comedy series The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. Next Thursday on Hulu, the premiere of the docuseries Ted Bundy, Dialogue with the Devil. Next Friday on Hulu, the stand-up special Ralph Barbosa, Planet Bosa. Next Tuesday on Paramount Plus, the debut of the true crime docuseries Murder 360. Next Wednesday on Apple TV Plus, the season 2 launch of the comedy series Platonic, starring Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne. Next Wednesday over on Amazon Prime Video, the premiere of the action comedy film The Pickup, starring Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson. And next Thursday on Amazon Prime Video, the debut of the sports docuseries Taurasi.
And that's new to view on iHeartRadio. Happy binging.
Back to Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns on 1300 The Zone.
Okay, we continue on a Friday afternoon here on the program. Cameron Parker and I were just talking about the trade deadline and the deals that were made and the deals that were not made. So what the hell do we know? Let's get the opinion and the analysis from one who does, straight from that Chicago White Sox front office, and a guy who ate a lot of takeout or take-in food during the trade deadline is Gene Watson, our good friend. Is that how, by the way, you got the nickname Snacks? Was because of having to spend so much time in war rooms working out trades?
The diet that I've been on the last 7 days, nobody would ever want to do. Ever. From Stan's Donuts to it's just bad. It's just bad. But it's over. So now it's trying to get back on the train a little bit.
Okay, all right, I understand that, and I didn't, and I wasn't calling you to have you talk about your diet situation. I wanted to have you give some analysis, and let me start with your ball club, because I've read a couple of analyses of the teams who did make deals, including your own. But on a couple of spots I read was that the most surprising non-trade that happened, that there was no deal, was for your own Luis Robert Jr. And I know you said there would be people interested in it. And I'm curious to get your thought on when you and the front office are examining deals, because I'm sure there were the offers made where you get to the point and you look at one another and say, this isn't enough, or this isn't good enough. We've got to be able to accrue more to unload a player like that.
Well, there's always risk to always never doing a deal or doing a deal. The risk always lies. But what most organizations can't compute is what the player means to the organization that he's in. And Louis means an extremely lot to us. He's been up, he's been down, he's been hurt. He's underperformed, but he's got all-star caliber talent. And with where our payroll was, the $20 million option for next year doesn't really matter. He means more to us than that option. And so, we had a lot of irons in the fire. We had a lot of people that were, coming at us with deals. And some of them, quite frankly, were very good deals. But we felt like that Louis just means more to this organization and this city right now than what the return was going to be. And it's a roll of the dice, and we're willing to roll the dice.
All right. So let me get your analysis before I ask you about some other deals that were made. I'm curious to get your analysis of the deals that you did make, because everybody seemed to be focusing in on and thinking about Robert, and then you wind up with Austin Slater and Adrian Hauser for quality returns, certainly, and with the building going up. How the rebuild going on right now? How about your thoughts on the moves that the organization did make?
Well, in the context of them, we're very excited. I mean, Adrian Hauser was pitching in Round Rock in May for the Express, and had an out in his contract, took the out. We signed him and turned him arguably into one of the top 5 pitchers in Major League Baseball. And Brian Bannister and his group did a tremendous job of recognizing some adjustments that could be made with his repertoire and the way he went about it. And Austin Slater, who is a very good hitter against left-handed pitching, was a 1-year guy. And so we picked up a power arm right hand from the Yankees for him. We picked up Curtis Mead, a nice little wing infielder with some power for Hauser. So anytime in context you're acquiring future value for guys that are short-term players for you, it's always a win-win for your organization.
Gino, for where your organization is at and other teams where you're rebuilding the roster, rebuilding the farm system, do you already know in the winter meetings or spring training that, hey, when the trade deadline comes, we probably know we're going to be pretty quiet considering where we want this team to be at in a year or 2 years or 3 years down the road?
By the way, Cameron just surprised me. I thought he was going to ask you about the Rangers deals, but we'll get to those.
I think I can tell you the way I approach my job is I assume nothing and I'm open for everything. We are truly, when you're a complete rebuild, you have to be open to impact multiplication, and that's certainly what we did with Garrett Crochet. That's the way you can speed this thing up a little quicker, is if even if with your controllable pieces you're willing to multiply impact. Now you can't miss. You gotta be right on your evaluations, and you've got to be right on the impact of the 2 or 3 players you're getting. If you miss, you can take a step back sometimes. But we really assume nothing with the 29 other organizations. We've got great relationships with them. There's constant dialogue. And what I love about the deadline the most is, I've been in the game 36 years, and I've got a lot of friends in the game, and it truly is competition. It's what makes the job, when you can't play anymore, it's what makes the job so great is it's competition. And these conversations can sometimes get very heated and but the conversations are over and the deadline's over, and they go back to being some of your very best friends in the game. And so that's one of the unique parts of the deadline and the job that's always super fun.
Talking baseball with Gene Watson from the Chicago White Sox front office and recapping the trade deadline stuff. Okay, let's jump to the Rangers and Astros. And let me get your thoughts first from the Rangers with the addition of Merrill Kelly to the rotation there, and then the bullpen depth with Phil Matome and Danny Colombe. And there were a lot of folks who thought they might do something to shore up the DH spot. That did not happen, but they did go to try to build up the pitching depth a little bit. How about your thoughts on the Rangers?
Well, I thought they did a really nice job for the resources that they had. They did a really good job. And the thing about Boch is he's so great with bullpens that they just provided more depth for him. And truly now the October baseball is really about, you're managing your bullpens and the buckets in which they can come in and face certain pockets of hitters. And that's really what they did. They increased the talent of their bullpen and the depth of their bullpen, and it's going to serve them well in their push for October.
With a contract like Merrill Kelly, who's going in as an unrestricted free agent, from your past experience, when you're in the position that Chris Young is in, obviously you're in a win now mode, especially the amount of talent and the amount of capital they put into this team. But how do you balance, hey, we're trading for a guy who's going to be able to make an impact for us in October, in the postseason, as we make this playoff push, but also knowing that, hey, he may not be on this team next season, and we're possibly giving up 1, 2, 3 of our best players in our farm system?
I think it comes down to this. Ray Davis is a world championship owner. He wants to win another world championship. Bruce Bochy is a Hall of Famer, a 3-time world champion. He wants to win another world championship. You can't expect to tell your 26-man roster to give us your very best every day, and then as a front office, you don't go out and give your very best to put them in the best position to win. I don't think that's something you can do. I think all 30 clubs are a different measure from that aspect, but certainly the Texas Rangers, coming off a world championship 2 years ago, where Ray Davis is in his life, Bruce Bochy in his career, I think you got to give it everything you got. You got to keep pushing, because next year you may not be as good a team as you are now, and you're still going to have to make trades for prospects to improve your team. But this might be the best chance you have to win is this year over next year. And so they certainly committed to that, and it was great moves on their part.
I've heard you speak of Jim Crane and the Astros front office in similar terms. And most of the grades I see on the Astros were glowing. And if it can be said Gino, and you tell me if you agree with this or not, if it can be said that maybe the most surprising move that wasn't made was Louis Robert going from leaving the White Sox, that the most surprising move that was made was getting Carlos Correa back and him waiving the no trade clause and all that. Did that raise an eyebrow or two when that move came down?
Couldn't believe it when I saw it, but it's such a tangible move for the Astros to bring him back. And, there's been one guy, and I've said it countless times, there's been one guy that's carried the just the charisma and the attitude of that organization for a long time, and it's Jose Altuve. And now to bring Correa back and add to the mystique and the history of that team and that organization. I talked to Dana this week. We had a couple things going with them on the lighter side. And I just told Dana, I'm like, it's just incredible what you guys have been able to do over the years, losing Cole, losing Verlander, losing Bregman, losing Tucker. And you're just in great position to win again. And I've said it a time or two that Jim Crane is the modern day George Steinbrenner. The expectations drive the results. He makes no mistake, and he is going to commit to winning. And they just have something special going on in Houston. And really with 2 world championships and the run that they've been on, it's historical. I mean, 100 years from now, you're going to talk about the Houston Astros organizations, or a lot of organizations that, just sustained and never really pushed in and never really did what they could do to win a World Series. Nobody's ever going to remember them. So that's where you can give a lot of credit to Jim Crane and the Houston Astros.
Well, another organization that I know you think an awful lot of, and the front office guy that I know you think an awful lot of, is A.J. Preller and the Padres. And of all of the reviews I've read, the Padres may have gotten the highest grade across the board, and going after Mason Miller for the bullpen, and then going after Ryan O'Hearn and Freddie Fermin and some of those guys, and then wind up not trading Dylan Cease, although there were supposedly big rumors about that, and then getting Nestor Cortez from Milwaukee as well. How about the Padres and what they did?
Well, on a personal note, it was really cool because my son sat on Mason Miller for the last week.
Oh yeah,
and that was a really cool thing for him to be a part of that trade. They're all in, and I don't know if anybody's had the opportunity to go to Petco Park, but it might be the best experience in baseball right now, and the synergy around that city and that ballpark and that team has never been higher than it is right now. And when you think back to last year, they're arguably 1 inning away from beating the Dodgers and probably going on to win the World Series. And so AJ looked at his minor league system. It is absolutely depleted at this point. He's got probably 3 or 4 prospects, but he was all in, not only to try to win the World Series this year, but for next year also. And, he's not afraid. He never has been. It's a joy to deal with him on deals. We were in deep conversations with them most of the day and week, and I really admire the way he goes about it, and they're all in to win a world championship this season.
Gene Watson, Director of Player Personnel for Chicago White Sox, joining us here on AM 1300. And you mentioned how close the Padres came to knocking out the Dodgers last year. Right now, San Diego is as close to the top of the division as they've been since June 16th. This is the skimpiest lead the Dodgers have had since then. How about your analysis of the Dodgers deals, picking up Alex Call from Washington and the Dustin May swap with Boston as well? How about your thoughts on those deals?
I think with LA, it still just comes down to 2 things. One, they know how good they are. You're kind of just pacing yourself to get in and be healthy. And, there's really no panic within the organization. Andrew Friedman does just a tremendous job with the culture of the organization and building that 26-man roster out. And Dave Roberts obviously leading the ship. And they're not going to panic, but health is going to be a major concern. And they've got to try to get as healthy as they can. They did a lot in building out some depth for their bench. And but health is going to be the thing that determines, how far they go in October.
No doubt about that. All right. The one other thing I was going to ask you about is, and this was a guy I was hoping as a Dodger fan they would pick up. They didn't. The Yankees did. Getting Bednar from the Pirates. How big is that for New York?
Huge. And, he hasn't thrown the ball great lately, but I can promise you when any organization goes after a guy like that, they know the adjustments that need to be made. It could be something simple as tipping. It could be something, as pitch usage. But the New York Yankees aren't going after Bednar without knowing that they can get him right. But arguably, one of the best bullpen leverage arms in baseball. Hitters just do not see his fastball. It is an invisible ball to the plate. And so, that was huge for them to be able to pick that depth up. And, they're certainly going to be a force to reckon with moving into October.
Did it surprise you in any way, shape, or form to see teams like the Cardinals, the Giants, the Guardians pretty much say, we don't think we're going to get there this year? And they went ahead and made a lot of moves that could be viewed in the prism of being sellers rather than buyers.
Well, in the Cardinals case, people better watch out because they're coming. They've got a very good young major league team. They've got some very good young arms that are on the cusp of being at the major league level. And they've got one of the strongest systems in baseball. And so the Cardinals are kind of laying in the weeds. And I would tell you in 2026, they got a chance to be one of the surprise teams in baseball. The Giants, I'm very close with Zach Manassian Jr. We spoke oftentimes this week. And he had just been through so much. And it was really hard for them not to try to push the gas because Buster Posey is one of the most competitive guys in the world. But kudos to them for recognizing, you know what, we've got some capital on our 26-man roster that's going to allow us to be a better team in 2026 and beyond than the run that we might make this year. And so we get in, do we have the team to beat the Dodgers in the National League or the Padres, or you get past them, winning a world championship. And they certainly know what the blueprint for winning a world championship is. But it was just a reset, and they got a wonderful right-handed starter, Blake Tidwell from the Mets, and they're going to be very, very good in 26 and moving forward.
Yeah, and then by the way, I guess with the Giants getting 4 prospects for Camilo Doval, so the Yankees wind up getting Doval as well as what they did for Bednar, and then and how about Mike Yastrzemski to your old ball club, the Royals?
Yeah, Mike, he's going to fit in nicely there. Just one of the best makeup guys in the game, and just going to add to their depth and give them some help with an outfield that's really been struggling offensively all year long. And if they can get him going in the American League and get MJ Melendez going, and they got a chance to make a little push here in the second half. But the Giants did a tremendous job of revamping their minor league system and knowing where they are for the 2025 season to make those moves.
Hey, as a Dodger fan, I can root for Mike Yastrzemski now. That's a good thing. I like that. All right. So, hey, Gino, I appreciate the time as always. Hey, by the way, tell everybody where you are today.
National Baseball Card Show in Chicago. It was overwhelming, a wonderful event. I pulled a $500 Joe Morgan card, 1981. I was super excited about that. I pulled a $250 Pete Rose card. So it was a pretty fun day. And I've been out of the card world for a while, but my grandsons have gotten me back into it. And it was a wonderful day. A bit overwhelming, but I'm glad I went.
So Melanie's good with that kind of investment you're making there, or does she not know? Did you not tell her?
We have a don't ask, don't tell policy when it comes to a baseball card.
Hey, Gino, I appreciate the time. Thanks, and we'll do it again next week.
Right now.
We'll talk next week. Appreciate the time.
All right, Greg. Thanks.
All right,
man. Bye-bye.
That's Gene Watson. Listen, would tell you that just like with my house, the brains of the operation is the missus. So it's Melanie in that case there. All right, we have more coming up. We're going to hear some more Longhorn sound, and we're going to give away some copies of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine when we come back on 13 Under the Zone.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Austin area weather calling for partly cloudy skies tonight. A stray shower or storm is possible, low 76. Partly cloudy tomorrow, high of 98. Another low of 76 for tomorrow night.
This report is sponsored by Texas Department of Transportation. A heavy foot can cost you a heavy fine.
or more. Speeding is a factor in 1,500,000 crashes every year in Texas. So always follow the speed limit. And if there's bad weather or road construction ahead, slow down. Be safe. Drive smart. A message from TxDOT.
Are you planning a special event or need to secure a construction site? Call Viking Fence today. For all your temporary fencing needs, Viking Fence is the name you can trust. With over 50 years of experience in Central Texas, Viking Fence provides top quality temporary fencing and excellent service. And that's not all. Viking also offers sanitation, dumpster, and mobile storage services to keep your space safe and secure. Give them a call today at 512-601-8911 for a free estimate, or visit vikingfence.com/radio to learn more. Trust Viking Fence, where excellent work, outstanding service, and an honest reputation comes standard. There's no comparison on quality and price. For all your temporary fencing needs, think Viking Fence. Call 512-601-8911. That's 512-601-8911 for a free estimate, or visit vikingfence.com/radio. That's vikingfence.com/radio. vikingfence.com/radio.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Okay, we have two must-hear interviews. First, Aaliyah Kateb. She joins Tom and Daddario, and she talks about her Love Island journey, from her situationship to producer drama and life after the villa. Then, on Drama Queens, Stephen Colletti, remember him? Stops by to spill all the One Tree Hill secrets, from the steamy scenes and the off-screen romances. It's all happening. You don't want to miss this.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
Hi, we're not here right now, but we'll call you back if you leave your name and number.
If you aren't of the age to remember, the answering machine was a physical audio recorder that plugged into your phone line.
Hi, Dad, this is Aaron.
You couldn't call into it remotely. You had to wait till you got home to check your messages.
America's produced like lots and lots of stuff, just piles of stuff. The fact of the matter is all day long, every day, there are warehouses full of stuff getting just pushed off a cliff. All day, every day.
That's Ian Nagoski, who runs the Canary Records label.
A friend of mine said that what he loves is being the guy standing at the edge of the cliff, waving his arms, going, "Wait, no, let me look at those first before you throw them away. I think there might be some good stuff in there. I think there might be some stories. I don't think we should throw all those away yet."
We have a season, 10 episodes of stories from that realm, of things that were just barely saved, and in some cases, not saved at all. A bizarre tale of two infamous New Yorkers.
They booby-trapped their home and turned it into a sealed fortress of ephemera.
A missing chapter of American music history.
There hasn't been a guess culturally that they matter. So they get thrown in the garbage.
A decade's worth of original television lost to the airwaves.
It's over. It's ephemeral. You're going to see something else the next second and nobody's ever going to see it.
A piece of music that's defied convention for 70 years.
I had students write down the sounds they heard during it, and one girl said, "I never realized there was so much to listen to."
And what could only be called an audio mystery.
It said nothing on it, and it clearly had been recorded, which intrigued me. What is this going to be?
These stories and more, given new life, if only for a glimpse. Is this podcast a piece of ephemera in the making? A forgotten story about forgotten stories? Only time will tell. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and learn more at ephemeral.show.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
You know the day destroys the night, night divides the day.
Tried to run, tried to hide. Break on through to the other side.
Here on a Friday,
Break on through to the
you know,
other
this could easily fit into a couple of categories. The Doors, great Jim Morrison there. So we did the music survey in the second hour of the program there. If you missed it, you can hear it on our podcast page at am13underthezone.com. All right. Now, before we get to some Longhorn football, I do have a couple of copies of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine to give away. The way we do this is that you do it through the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app. So you download the iHeartRadio app, you search AM 13 Under the Zone, you'll see a little red button with a white microphone. You press that button, you leave us a message with the answer to this question. Tell me the score of the Texas A&M game last year. First two correct answers to that on the TalkBack feature. You got to use the TalkBack feature, and you just leave us the message. Oh, yeah, I know. I want to win the magazine. The score was, the first two correct answers are going to get a copy of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine. All right, speaking of Texas, let's hear from another Longhorn player. How about a veteran wide receiver, DeAndre Moore?
First person out to practice, whenever we were around at least. Is there a reason behind that?
Yeah, I saw those other guys do it before me. So, me being the younger guy, just soaking up everything that I could back then. I'm just getting out to practice, getting out there early, getting my feet under me, just getting all my pre-practice rituals in, whatever I need to do to make sure that I'm playing at my best, I'm going to do it. So that's kind of the whole little gist, behind getting out there early.
Have you had to make an effort to be more vocal with all the new guys, or did it kind of come naturally?
It kind of came naturally. I had really great dudes in front of me, like I keep saying. Witt was more of a vocal leader. I had X and AD who were more of I had to be a visual learner with those guys. I had to watch them more than anything. So I think that, that outspoken leadership just comes with, being a leader.
I think you're the oldest guy in that room right now.
One of them walk-ons older than me, but yeah, I'm up there. Yeah, I'm up there.
What's it like being the older guy when you always were kind of the younger guy over here?
Okay. So sometimes it's cool, but other times I catch myself talking too much because I want to give them so much that I know from, guys that I've seen in past years. And I'm just like, here, bro, this is what you need to do. You need to do that right. You need to do that right. So sometimes I kind of just got to take a little chill pill. But, just being able to get back to those guys and, being a resource for them to, get better and, pursue, their career and what they want to do. It's really great.
What are the differences you notice between Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning thus far?
One had baby wheels and one has super wheels.
Which one's which?
Oh,
Now the ball's coming out differently too.
Yeah.
How would you describe Arch's ball?
Arch's footballs come with a little bit more of a zip. Quinn's were a little bit more of a pillow, a little bit of a cushion. He'll kind of loft it in there. Arch is zipping that thing in there, getting it to you. So
feels like when a new quarterback is stepping in, a lot of them might be unsure about themselves. Arch seems so just comfortable and hungry. What does that presence do for the offense when a guy's kind of sure of himself there?
It gives the rest of our team assurance as well. He's our leader, and he's going to be the guy to, take the helmet and lead us into these games and these battles. So just seeing a guy like that who's not really sweating and sure of himself, it only gives me confidence to go out there and do what I need to do.
Two of the guys who were freshmen last year, Wendell and Parker, how have you seen their development over the past year?
Oh, they're getting older, and it's not about, just football. It's about life. They're becoming real men, and they're learning things, and they're being callous to where they can go out in the real world and survive. So football is going to take care of itself. I'm more focused on what we're doing after this, how we better ourselves after this. So,
do you have any personal goals for this season?
Personal?
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to win a natty. I think we've got to the doorstep 2 years in a row. Too many for my liking. So I want to win a national championship. We got, short at an SEC championship. I want to win the SEC championship. As far as personal, I want the Texas touchdown record. I want at least 1,200 yards, and I want to win the Biletnikoff.
Okay. Now, Emmett's a new guy in the room. How do y'all help him be comfortable, on the field and then, off the field?
Yeah. Emmett has done a great job of really buying into the culture. So it was kind of easy for him to come in here, mesh well with, what we're doing. If he ever has a question, we're more than happy to, here you go, bro, this is what you got. This is your splits, this is your alignment. So really just maintaining that brotherhood of, welcoming in whoever's coming in and just really embracing them into the culture.
For the part of practice we were at, Sark was fired up, energetic. He was bringing it today. Like, what does that do for the team, and what did you see from him when he's kind of just leading the charge there?
The good teams take on the personality of their head coach. So when Sark's all fired up, we have no choice but to be fired up. Last year he used to have this little juice meter. He'd come out to practice like, how much juice you got, man? Are you a 0 or are you a 6? You know what I'm saying? So, just him coming out there with that high energy is, really great for the team.
Do you think you're the best receiver in college football?
I do.
Why do you feel it?
I'm dynamic. You can put me in the slot. You can put me outside. You can put me in the backfield. You put me at quarterback if you needed me to. I'm going to do it.
Do you want one of those wide receiver pass plays?
As far as throwing the ball? Sark just said something in the meeting the other day. I told him I could throw a little bit, but, I don't think he'll put me there, but we'll see.
You were never a quarterback before.
Oh, I played quarterback, man. I tell you, I did it all. I was DN, linebacker, running back, corner, safety, receiver, everything. I did it. So,
Do you think we're going to see you used differently compared to last year, expanding your role at all, or are you focusing on what you did last year?
I think last year was a really great foundation, and I'm looking forward to building on to that this year. I know the coaches have a really great game plan, and I know that, I'm just going to trust in them, and, whatever comes out of this year will come.
Who are some of the DBs that you've gone up against that you've said, hey, this guy's got a little something to him?
In the SEC?
No, in practice.
Okay, so the obvious, Manny Muhammad, Jalen Gilbo, Freshie. I like Grayson Littleton. He's in the slot, so me and him got some chance to, work a little bit. Kay Phillips is coming along. A lot of those young guys are really buying into, their position, and getting better. So those guys are coming along.
Jalen said you and him go at it sometimes in practice.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him, especially him moving to the outside?
Intent. I can say Jalen's intent has changed since his baby. But, this last year, I think we're all kind of tired around this building of, getting to that, last door and just barely knocking on it. So, everybody kind of has to step up.
Where do you rank in team speed as far as the fastest guys on the roster?
Somewhere up there. I know I'm not the first.
Who is?
I think Ryan Niblett. He's pretty fast. Yeah. But I give myself top 3. I'm somewhere in there.
Top 3?
Yeah.
Are you the number one punt returner too?
I think you have to ask Coach Banks that, but I think so.
Which one of the freshman receivers have stood out to you so far?
All of them.
What do you like?
All of them.
All right, we'll talk about
all of them. Dede Smart, Dalen McCutcheon. He's kind of in the slot, so I see a lot of Wid, a lot of me and Dede. So Dede is really kind of just soaking it up and taking it and running with it. Jamie Friend's got that Florida swagger. He got that, the line. He got all that good stuff. So Jamie's definitely coming along. Khalid, long strider. So he's really getting up on your toes really quick. Khalid's doing a really great job. And Mike Terry, big boy. I didn't know Mike could go like that. So when he coming out here during fall camp, I'm like, okay, all right, big boy got some stuff to him. So they're all coming along in their own time and in their own right. So I'm just proud of them.
How are you feeling about yourself?
All right, so there it is, from DeAndre Moore. You know what I like about DeAndre Moore? Obviously, he does not lack for confidence. That's never been, and he carries that to the field with him in terms of his intensity. And he's also, even though he has those personal goals, he mentioned the team goals first of winning, wanting to win a national championship, wanting to win an SEC championship, and he also could rattle off the names on both offense and defensive guys who are looking really good right now. That's a teammate. It's a guy who's seeing what else is going on around him. We'll be back to wrap up today's edition of the show here on 13 Under the Zone.
Coach Sark here. Stay connected to the Longhorns on the free iHeartRadio app.
Breaks a tackle, 30, turns down the sidelines. Say goodnight to this one. Touchdown, Texas.
Just search 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It works
worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The largest gun show in Texas is almost here. Exercise your Second Amendment rights next weekend at the 1500 Table Gun Show in Bryan College Station. Presented by Texas Gun Shows, August 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Legends Event Center in Bryan College Station. Texas Gun Shows will be holding the largest gun show in the state. 1,500 tables, free parking. You don't want to miss this. 3 days only, August 8th, 9th, and 10th. For more info, visit gunshowstx.com. That's gunshowstx.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Girlfriends is back with a new season, and this time I'm telling you the story of Kelly Harnett. Kelly spent over a decade in prison for a murder she says she didn't commit. As she fought for her freedom, she taught herself the law.
He goes, oh God, Harnett, jailhouse lawyer.
And became a beacon of hope for the women locked up alongside her.
I think I was put here to save souls by getting people out of prison.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Girlfriends Jailhouse Lawyer, and listen now.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Justin Timberlake revealing a recent health diagnosis in an Instagram post. He shared photos from his Forget Tomorrow World Tour and said that he's been quietly suffering with Lyme's disease throughout the trek. Timberlake said he was shocked about the diagnosis, but understood now why he would be in pain, feeling fatigue or sick while on stage. The singer wrapped up his post by saying he decided to continue touring because of the joy that performing brings him, outweighing the stress his body was feeling. A teaser for Spider-Man Brand New Day is out. It shows a close-up of Tom Holland's new suit that he will wear in the film. The 4th installment in the Tom Holland-led Spider-Man franchise hits theaters July 31st of next year. Lindsay Lohan revealing the reason she's moved out of Hollywood. According to Page Six, the Parent Trap actress lives in Dubai with her husband and is a fan of the city's privacy laws. During an episode of Live with Kelly and Mark, Lohan told host Kelly Ripa that she lives a very normal life away from the paparazzi. The actress also expressed her appreciation for Dubai's laws, which she says allow her to feel safe because she can go out with her son and not have pictures taken. Elton John celebrating a personal milestone, the singer marking 35 years of sobriety with a message to fans on Instagram and sharing a photo of handmade cards from his sons. That's entertainment. I'm Jennifer Bolsoni.
Coach Sark here. Back to the Craig Way Show on your home for the Longhorns, 1300 The Zone.
Well, what a busy day we've had today. And hear from a lot of Longhorn football players, several. Talked baseball trade deadline with Gene Watson. So we'll visited with him today on the show. And also I got my wife involved with this music survey thing. I think I owe her dinner for this, somewhere along. I have to figure that one out. Hey, thanks as well to our man, Antone Lycum. And of course, the producer of the program is Cameron Parker. We will be back with you Monday afternoon at 2:00. In the interim, we invite you to stay tuned. Covino and Rich, Fox Sports Radio, up next. For all of us here, I'm Craig Way. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll visit with you Monday afternoon at 2:00 right here on 1300 The Zone.